Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
He's three pitches in the last 72 hours.
It was part of another conversation, so
conversation that's wrong.
It has nothing to do with him playing, but okay.
All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? Hope you all had a nice the hell day is it? Monday night. Hope you all had a nice Monday night. I sure as shit didn't, but things were looking great. No. Do you know what the crazy part is? I was looking great. It was looking like a 3-1 night. I felt good about my bets. The Astros, man, we took a 2-1 lead into the 8th inning with Presley and Hader rested against the Pirates.
My only win last night was Astros first 5.
I had the Mets that won, but I lost the Cardinals and lost the under. And Royals White Sox under 2-2 going into the 6th inning.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was dead when I woke up, and it was plus 100 to the under.
Oh, Moda, I heard you went off yesterday. Word on the street.
Yeah, plus 6 units on my home runs. So we'll take that. I mean, that's home run betting. I was down like 3 days in a row prior to that, so it all evens out.
All right. Well,
so just for the record, everybody, Garrett Cole is now not pitching for the Yankees. If you didn't know, so he's not there. So I posted the Yankees on the website. BetMGM is giving money back. A couple things are giving money back, I guess, but you can get that bet refunded. Yeah, I have no interest betting the Yankees now. I put it on the website that I said that there's a pitching change. I just wanted to make everybody aware if there was a question, because that's like the biggest news so far right now.
Where's the line at now? Yanks are plus 120.
Is that what it is? I haven't seen it posted again.
Totals now at 9.5, 10. Yeah, it makes sense.
We'll get there.
All right, so let's get it started. Chris Bassett on the road, pitching against Corbin Burnes and the O's. Orioles are really expensive here. Obviously, I saw the price. Was trying to find my way to a Toronto plus 180 bet. Wasn't able to get there. I have no reason to believe, even though I don't think the Blue Jays bats are quite as dead as they kind of get branded as. Still, I have no reason to have faith in them to hit off Corbin Burnes. So I didn't bet this game. I was leaning towards the under. Kind of want to hear what these guys have to say. I'll bust out the spreadsheet, see if I can find something. But as of right now, this would probably be under or pass for me.
I'll just really quickly, I paired Baltimore and Kansas City together. So with Toronto letting everybody go, Justin Turner yesterday and stuff, I mean, that lineup is just kind of going to be essentially a shell of itself. There is like a 50-50 chance this game gets rained out. But I just felt confident with Baltimore, considering the fact that they're going to have Cano, Sir Anthony Dominguez, and Perez all rested and available behind Perez. And then on Toronto's side, Chris Bassett, who was terrible last year against this Baltimore team, has been terrible over his last 7 starts. He had one good start against the Yankees at home. Besides that, he's been an absolute train wreck. I don't love Corbin Burnes. I'm not a huge Corbin Burnes guy, but he's dominated this Toronto lineup in 2 starts this year, over 13 innings, only 2 runs. And he's been pitching pretty decently. So he's coming off a shaky start at home his last time out against the Cubs. I think we see the good Corbin Burnes here today. I'm not interested in laying 1.5 and whatever, but pairing it with the Royals that are playing the White Sox, who cannot win a game if they tried, I felt pretty safe.
Yeah. I mean,
it wasn't a big bet.
Mr. Modi.
Yeah, I passed on this one because I'm pretty sure it's going to get rained out. I would probably lean towards the Orioles in the run line, the minus 1.5. I didn't bet it. But with the rain and everything, I just kind of held off.
Rain. Next game.
Rain, go away. The East Coast needs retractable roofs.
Every sport needs retractable roofs, man.
I agree.
That is my biggest thing. It's stupid that we let weather dictate.
And you get the football fans will be like, "Oh no, weather's part of the game." And then you see like a game with serious weather.
Yeah.
And you're like, this sucks. Like, this is not entertaining television.
Is it really cool?
If they love the weather, why do they complain about the rain being so much and the wind and stuff?
Dude, that one Patriots Bills game, I think it was last season or 2 seasons ago.
The wind one, yeah.
The Patriots ran, what was it, 69 offensive plays? There were 3 plays called. It was power, trap. They called 3 plays. The entire game, they called 3 plays. Like, dude, this is high school football. What is I don't even understand. Anyway, we're talking baseball here. Yankees on the road at Philadelphia. This sucks now. I knew it last night, too. I was saying in the Discord before I bet the Yankees at plus 108. Obviously, I'm going to get that refunded. I knew when I bet it, I kept saying in the Discord, like, guys, I want to bet the Yankees, but this feels like the most square bet on the board. Something's wrong with this. Like, something's going on. Why are they giving us the Yankees at plus 108 with Cole after they just put up 14 runs last night? So, yeah, I'm going to cash out of this bet. Really don't have much to say. I don't even know. What's the name of the guy pitching for the Yankees? It was
Will Warren.
Yeah, who the hell is that? So I have no idea what to even say about this game. Maybe an over, but like I don't know who Will Warren is, so I don't know how I can responsibly say over either.
Yeah, it's over or pass. This kind of sucks. I can tell you that Will Warren has a 6.11 ERA in AAA this year. In 95 innings pitched. Yeah, for what that's worth. It's over or pass. I mean, this sucks.
I feel like everyone's going to be hitting the over now.
Yeah, that's why I'm not betting it.
Yeah, probably.
Modi, do you have a dong?
I do. And one thing that I just want to preface is that I started doing round robins with these. So I'll do like 7 total, and I'll put like $5 on each individual one. So it ends up being only about 1 unit risk. So there's going to be like 7 home run picks, but I don't want people to think I'm
what pick round robin do you choose? Like 4?
I just do times 2.
No, just a 2 pick. Okay,
that's all.
That's the most conservative one. That's the most conservative way to do it.
Yeah. So yesterday, like I got 4 of 7. That's why we were up so much. So I just wanted to preface that because there's going to be more dongs today. I just want to let the people know. So I've Juan Soto for this one specifically.
Fear not.
Yeah, I just don't want people to think that I'm like putting like a unit on each of these, and I have like 7 units on home runs. That's all. So yeah, I want Soto in this one. It's going up against first of all, yesterday he had 5 total bases despite not hitting a home run, 2 doubles and a single. All 3 of them were hard hit, just crushed the baseball. And since the All-Star break, he's got 22 hard hits. That's the second most in the MLB, only behind Bobby Witt Jr. and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And his ISO rate is 50% despite only hitting 4 home runs because he's got 6 doubles in that span. Everybody ahead of him has like 6, 7, and 7 home runs. And then against Nola, he's crushed Nola in 11 at bats over the last 3 years, batting .455, 1 home run, 1 double. Yeah, I mean, I'm betting on him who's been smashing the baseball. I'm betting on him against Nola, who's a home run pitcher. So yeah, that's where I went. It's super square, but that's where I went with this one.
Just also to add, I'm probably going to add a couple guys to pick home runs in this game just for fun. It's 80 degrees out there with the wind, with a 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing out in Citizens Bank Ballpark. I mean, this is like a over better's dream right now.
An over better's dream. Next up, Marlins. Oh, and Toast, did you see I placed a bet on this?
I did not.
A late edition
game as well.
All right. Well, property of the chat disappeared. Get the poll. You can get the poll up first, I guess. We must have moved that folder. Yeah. Must be down to the bottom. There it is. There she is. Chat's back. All right. So yeah, Toast, you can go ahead and go first. But I ended up placing a late bet as well. We probably, knowing the way you bet, I think we might be on the same thing. I didn't see it. What do you have?
Marlins first 5 money line for me.
Oh no, not the same.
At plus 140. I understand. I just don't understand this price, I guess. The Rays haven't done anything for 3 days. I mean, they scored 4 runs on Saturday, but they scored 2 other runs the other 2 nights against Cincinnati. And I understand that it's not against left-handed pitching and stuff, but Miami's scoring runs lately, especially coming out of the All-Star break. And I also think that we have a pitching advantage. I understand that Edward Cabrera has been off and on, but I mean, he's coming off of 3 starts where he faced on the road in Cincinnati, where that's not an easy place to pitch. He got lit up. And then at home against Grimace Mets, and then at home against Baltimore. I don't think it's really crazy to think that he's going to go an hour or two up the road into another dome and probably pitch well against a Rays lineup that's absolutely depleted right now. And in Jeffrey Springs, he's making his first start in over a year. I don't know what to really expect from him, but I don't think that the Rays should be this heavily favored early in the game. So even if Cabrera pitches somewhat well, I think at best this is a coin flip. And so if you're going to give me plus 140 in the first 5, I'm going to take it.
So as far as what you just said, I agree with a lot of it. Completely with you on backing the Marlins bats against Springs. Look at their numbers against recent lefties. Remember, like 3 weeks ago, we were talking about how the Marlins were the worst lineup in baseball against lefties. It's the complete opposite of that. They've gotten to several lefties. They got to David Peterson, Sean Manaea, Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott. Those are the last 4 lefties they've seen. They got to all 4 of them.
They've also been really good on the road in general.
Yeah. I was last 30 days, top 5 road lineup in baseball. Last 30 days against lefties, 11th in WRC+, 11th in OPS. This Marlins lineup, last 30 days overall, top half of baseball. They're hitting lefties, like Toast said. Jeffrey Springs' first start in a year. I'm with all of that. I think we can count on the Marlins to score some runs. Where I can't jump aboard with you is trusting Edward Cabrera on the road in any way, shape, or form, to use your line. So I went Marlins team total over 3.5. I got it at plus 122. I actually think I got that at plus 128. Let me check. I got it at plus 122 or plus 128. I already locked this one in. I posted it. What did I write? 1 second. Actually, why would you guys care what I got it at? Why don't I tell you what you can get it at now?
I was thinking in my head, but I didn't want to come off as a dick.
Yeah. No one cares what I got it at. They want to know what they can get it at. My bad. 1 second. I'll load it up. But that's what I'm on. I'll get you the odds in one. Oh, here it is right now. Team total over 3.5 plus 128. You can get right now on FanDuel. So yeah, I like the Marlins to score at least 2 or 3 off Jeffrey Springs and just get me one late to get us home. So yeah, Marlins team total over for me.
And really quickly about Cabrera, 100% I understand that, but I gave him a little bit of a pass with that start in Cincinnati because it is Cincinnati. And then the other start on the road was the Dodgers. So he's been terrible. I will give him that. But these lineups, a little bit weaker. So that's over his last 7. I didn't go super far back, but I'm just saying.
Mr. Modai?
Yeah, I officially passed on this one because it's like there's so much unknown with these teams selling their bats and then Springs first start over here. I would lean towards the Marlins just because I don't trust anything with the Rays. And even though the Marlins traded Josh Bell, I didn't actually bet it. Yeah, that's where I would go, was the Marlins. But yeah, I didn't bet it.
I think there's a lot of people taking the Marlins, and I'm with it. I do think they'll score runs, but just to give you an idea, his last 2 road starts, 7 runs in Cincinnati, less than 4 innings. Dodger Stadium, 4 runs in just 2 innings. Now that's the Reds and the Dodgers, not the Rays, but still, this dude on the road just scares the life out of me. So, all right, let's move on to the next game. Seattle, Boston.
CLV King for me.
You got some CLV here? What'd you get?
I guess over 9.5. It's 10.5 now.
Good bet.
Thank you. We'll see.
Well, I got 3 cents of CLV. I have the Red Sox at plus 100.
Yeah, I really wanted to take them too.
Well, I'll go first because my reasoning for this is simple. I'm done even hesitating about backing Boston against righty starters. I'm done even thinking. There's no more thought that goes into 100%. It because what they're doing to righty starters it's like
could be a felony offense in most states.
Yeah, it's insane. They're getting to. It's not just like, oh, they got pretty good numbers against righties. No, they're crushing every righty starter that they've seen. We saw Logan Gilbert last night, one of the best pitchers in baseball this year, probably the best road pitcher in baseball. It wasn't even. They crushed him. It was nothing. So this was as simple as I looked at the game. Boston against a righty starter. No, I'm done thinking about it. I'm done trying to overthink it until Boston's lineup doesn't get to a righty starter. I'm just going to bet them blind every time they see a righty. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it ends today and I jumped out of the wrong time, but there's just no way. We're talking about like 15 in a row. So yeah, Boston money line for me.
Modai, do you want to go? Do you have a dong in this one?
I do. I have 2 dongs in this one, double dongs. It's Rafael Devers and Jarren Duran. It's two lefties against Luis Castillo. And I will say, for people that do round robins, FanDuel is really dumb in that it doesn't actually include two guys in the same game. So you actually have to place these as a separate 2-leg same game parlay for those of you that want to tailor the round robin. Yeah, Luis Castillo is significantly worse against lefties. He's seen 31 fewer at-bats against lefties. 10 of his 15 home runs have come to lefties. Again, in 31 fewer at-bats. Home run per 9 against lefties, 1.59, 0.61 against righties. It's like the difference between like the 6th worst pitcher and, I don't know, top 30. All of his stats across the board are worse against lefties. Fly ball rate from 36% to 44.2 and hard hit rate from 26.5 to 35.5. And he predominantly throws fastballs, which both Duran and Devers smash. So yeah, take one of them to hit a home run, or sorry, take both of them to hit a home run if one of them do. Especially Duran's like plus 600, I think is really, really good odds on him, who's been really good since the All-Star break. So I took both in this one.
And it looks like Prop Beaver put a graphic up. Toast, looks like you're on the same wave. Back in Boston's bats here.
100%. After what I saw, and first of all, I also want to say I understand that the umpire missed a strike 3 call that would have ended that 7-run inning, but the fact of the matter is they continued to pile on after
7 more.
Yeah, they continued and I was on Seattle. Trust me, I would have loved for that call to go my way, but to say that missed call was a difference in the game, I think that's just kind of being lazy. What Boston is, like Sauce said, what they're doing, I don't really have to talk of that. Boston team total over. I would still play the over at 10.5. Castillo has looked really solid over his last 7 starts. You want to know why? Because they've been not letting him pitch on the road. But if you take his one road start that was good was against the Angels. They're terrible. His last 2 road starts against Tampa Bay and Cleveland, he made it 10 innings, gave up 9 runs, 13 hits. Not to mention his last 2 times seeing Baltimore, 10 total innings, 12 hits, 11 runs. The dude's absolutely terrible. I keep trying to tell you guys this. He looks good against bad lineups. So, and James Paxton, by the way, not really good. And usually the Mariners, I'm not really in love with them against lefties, but who do they have now? Randy Arozarena, who absolutely smashes lefties. And I guess what? I know that I'm not on them, but I think Mitch Garver hits a home run tonight. I'm just going to say it. But yeah, over. Boston team, first 5 team total over 2.5.
He's just going to say it.
Just saying it. Just saying.
He's just going to say it. And Modi hit us with a double dong there.
A double dong.
Seldom seen in European play.
Modi,
the double dong.
Duran.
What did he say?
My brain wants to say Duran so badly.
Duran? Isn't it an A?
It is an A. That's why I always wanted to ask him, how would you pronounce it if it was Duren?
Duran? Yeah, it's a good question. I don't have a good reason, good logic for you.
All right, next game. Toast, I have a question about this game. I was trying to ask you this morning, but you were still asleep because I guess it was about 5 a.m. your time. Helms was trying to answer the question for me, but I don't trust that guy as far as I can throw him. What's going on with the weather in this ballpark? And tell me why we shouldn't take under 9.
What's going on with the weather in Cincinnati? Cincinnati, let me pull it up.
If the weather's decent, tell me we shouldn't play the under here. I haven't bet this yet, but I'm down. Pop, you're just like this to me.
Yeah, it's fantastic weather. It's
our friends over. So a high run index?
Yes. 38% 38% increase in home runs today. Our friends over at Ballpark Pal say 18% increase in runs. We're looking at like 80 degrees with the wind blowing out in Great America Small Park.
How much wind?
Minimal, very minimal. No swirls.
9 is a high total for Justin Steele on the mound. Who, by the way, hold on. I have good reasons for this.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing.
The only reason I didn't bet this is my question about the weather, because I checked a couple different sources and I kind of got like mixed responses. And Toast looks at the weather a lot more diligently than I do, so I wanted to get his take on it. But I think so. First of all, the Reds have been hitting at home. They were hitting on the homestand, then they went on the road, cooled off a little bit. But what happened? They came right back home and started hitting again. So I do trust this Reds lineup, but more so against right-handed pitching. I don't really like them that much against lefties, and you would think they're loaded up with righty bats, but it just that the production hasn't been there as much against lefties. So Justin Steele, a lefty that I trust, I think he could pitch really well here. And then on the other side, whoever is pitching for the Reds, I've seen a couple different names. It's the Cubs, and they've got the milk's gone bad in Chicago. So I just think both teams, both starting pitchers, whoever it is for the Reds, should be fine. And 9's a high number, but I'm not going to touch it. This ballpark is one of those where you can have all your analytics pointing towards a beautiful under, and it still finishes 7-6, because this ballpark is just like that sometimes. And So I'm not going to talk. I don't like taking unders here until I've seen the weather because it's a little sketchy. So it'll be a pass for me. Under, no, don't even put it up because it's a pass.
I would be on Reds or pass for me. And I know that sounds crazy, and I understand that the Cubs now have Isaac Paredes in the lineup now, and Bellinger's back, and so it looks decent. I still have to see it. I'm not trying to make. You're going to see a guy by the name of Leon Richardson. You're probably going to see a guy by the name of Tony Sandlin pitch a little bit for Cincinnati, and then you'll probably see some of their bullpen guys and whatnot. But I still have to see this Cubs team score some runs for me to think that they're going to do anything. And Justin Steele, I mean, again, he's been somewhat okay, but at the same time, when he's faced Cincinnati, it's been absolutely a nightmare for him. His last start in Cincinnati earlier this year, he went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs. But before that, all starts at home, 5 runs, 6 runs. Over the last couple of years. So I'm not in a spot where I trust Justin Steele the way he's pitching currently or the way he's pitched against the Reds in the past. And that number seems at -125 or whatever it is. Books seem very comfortable letting people bet the Cubs here today. So it would be Reds or pass, but I did bet it.
Modi?
Yeah, I got nothing. I didn't know who was pitching for the Reds. I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, I saw Nick Martinez, which means probably a bullpen day. Now I'm seeing Lion Richardson. Like Toe said, we'll probably see an array of different arms. But it is the Cubs, so whoever goes out there, take their under hits. I
also think that's kind of like a little bit of an advantage because you're going to, like the Cubs, I mean, they're not going to be able to get used to somebody. So you're going to, hopefully you're going to have, if you're like,
we saw that come into play last night, the way the Astros used Ort and who's the first guy? Scott. They used Scott and Ort. It was like brilliant. Those two together pitched better than Skeens did.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros played they're the only thing the Astros did wrong was pay Josh Hader.
Yo, he sucked last night.
Dude, he sucks terrible.
Let's move on to the next one. Yo, Presley looked like shit too. But both of them had been pretty good recently. So you can't, if someone gets like 15 consecutive saves and then blows the 16th, you can't be like, this guy sucks. Let's go on to the next game, please.
I will forever think that Josh Hader sucks.
Can we go on to the next game, please?
Twins.
Oh, did you? My bad. My screen must have been frozen. Shout out Grimace. Shout out Queens. Shout out New York City. Shout out my only win last night. I went 1-3. All right, so I think now I haven't bet this one yet, but I think now that the Mets are down, because when I was looking at this one last night, it was -132. Obviously, I want to bet the Mets. I think the Mets are the better team right now, and I don't even think that's a hot take. I mean, these two teams are pretty close in the standings. If you go by the last 6 weeks, I mean, the Mets are by far the better team here. So the better team at home at -120 with the starting pitching advantage. It's like, what am I missing? It's like the same thing I said yesterday when I took the Mets. The price just seems off. The Mets at -120 indicates that on a neutral field, the Twins would be -120, -125 favorites on a neutral field, -135, -140 favorites at home in Minnesota. That's not indicative of how these two teams have played. Now, if they had Joe Ryan on the mound, it would make some sense, but they don't have the starting pitching advantage either. Mets didn't have to use any of their bullpen arms. Tell me why we shouldn't go right back to Grimace again.
I don't have anything for you. I can't give you a reason to bet the Twins, I guess. How's that?
Yeah. So I you know what? I'm down to play Grimace. I'm gonna bet this one right now.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it does look sketchy as hell. David Festa has been, terrible. His first and only 2 starts in Major League Baseball this year. 10 innings, 16 hits, 12 runs.
But I see Toast, but I don't get it. How does this price look sketchy, but yesterday's did it? Because
I think it didn't. I'm just saying. So, you're going to have Diaz, Maton, Ottavino, Stanek behind you. It's really hard. Even if Minaya doesn't look great, look at what the Mets bats are doing, right?
Yeah, so I just bet the Mets. Let me post it in the Discord real quick. Moda, do you have anything for this one?
I do. My second and final double dong day of the day.
Want to hit the song? Got to play the song. 2.
And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. Down.
Wow. Someone in the comments says Padres got Tanner Scott.
Is that true?
What?
Just the comments. Blame Bryce A if they didn't.
Trevor Richards. Trevor Richards going to the Twins.
Yes. Yes.
Yo,
It's a good move.
Woo!
Wait, Tanner Scott got you that pumped?
Are you kidding me? That's the best reliever on the market.
That was like
The
an
best.
Aaron Judge celebration, not a Tanner Scott.
Reliever. It's pitching, baby. It's all about pitching.
I would have had a similar reaction if the Phillies did something. I don't blame them.
Tanner Scott, this is how you react if Tanner Scott joins your team. All right, I like
Dude,
that.
look at our bullpen.
All
now.
right, I like that.
Are you kidding me? Suarez, Adam Estrada, and freaking Tanner Scott?
Oh
Are
my
you kidding
God,
me?
81 wins? No way.
Are you kidding me?
Mets, they'll still finish.
Do not let San Diego get into the playoffs. Oh my God. What a good day.
Guaranteed.
What a good day.
Anyway, let's let Modai share his dongs.
Yeah, please. Can I share my dongs, please? Royce Lewis and Carlos Santana. I will admit Santana was putting trust in Ballpark Pal because they were really, really high on him. And a lot of this is fading Sean Manaea, who I do think is Manaea, okay, who I think is due for some regression. He's got like home run per nine, home run per nine is the lowest in his career. Home run, the fly ball ratio is 9.6%, also the lowest in his career. And right now, the only time it's ever been below 10%. And like all his numbers, hard hit rate is the 15th highest in the MLB, barrel rate 24th highest, launch angle is 20th, average exit velocity is 22nd. Like he's not the worst pitcher in the MLB, but I don't think he's as good as his stats have indicated. And then he's also he's decently worse against righties. Fly ball rate increases 29.3% all the way from that to 46.2. And Royce Lewis, when he's healthy, has been mashing. He didn't come through yesterday, but he hit one in his last start, not including the day off he had, which I think was Sunday. Also, he has a really, really good history against fastball and sliders, which are the top two pitches thrown by Manaea. And then kind of the similar with Santana, obviously not as good as Royce Lewis because he's been incredible, but better against fastballs and sliders. So yeah, I went with them to hit a home run. Santana, a lot of it was just the juicy odds, like plus 600 is pretty good.
So double dong, both anti-grimace. 2 anti-grimace dongs. All right, let's move on to the next game. And please, I hope it's not the Padres. Rangers Cardinal. Oh no, I hate my bet in this one. I don't know. I think I placed this one too late at night because I woke up and looked at my bets and I was like, "What the fuck was I doing?" I don't even know what I like.
What did you bet?
I took the Rangers at minus 120. Like, it was not even a good price. I don't even know why.
I don't know. I guess I just the way you set it up. I was like, "Wait, what did you take?"
No, I mean, I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't take like Rangers minus 4.5. Or
I was like,
something.
"What's going on?"
So I had the Rangers money line. I do like the side. It's not that like, oh, I wish I took the Cardinals. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't really like the number, and it definitely feels a bit on the square side, especially the Rangers took yesterday. I like the Cardinals yesterday. I feel like that was their game to take with Palante pitching against a bunch of lefties. Now it's Lance Lynn pitching against a bunch of lefties, and trust me when I say that's a different story. If you're looking at those two pitchers, righty-lefty splits, Palante can make outs against lefties. In fact, he's got really nice-looking numbers against lefty bats. Lance Lynn, no, not so much, not at all. That's his weakness, is pitching to lefty bats. Rangers are loaded up with them. I actually think there's only going to be 5, but sometimes there's 6 in there. But still, the Rangers have a lot of lefties in there. So Lance Lynn, not a guy that particularly scares me. I know as a whole, he's been slightly better than in years past, but still, the Rangers should be able to score runs on him. And then Scherzer's been pretty good. Not striking me with a ton of confidence. But Scherzer's another guy that struggles against lefty bats. Cardinals only have 4 in the lineup. Cardinals offense as a whole hasn't particularly impressed me. I don't like how the Rangers used all 3 of their main bullpen arms. They used Robertson, I'm drawing a blank, Yates, and then they used Spores. They didn't use Leclerc though.
Nope.
So
good.
But I think all those guys will be available. But I just don't like how
100%. They didn't work the previous 2 days. You're good.
So the Rangers will have all their main arms available from the bullpen, but a few of them they used last night. So I don't love that. I think it's the right side. It's definitely a little bit square. I would imagine our poll is going to be coming back heavily towards Texas.
I guess I haven't played it yet because I don't understand the price. I like first 5 under 4.5. You have Scherzer, who's been pitching just fine. He had one blow up against Baltimore, but I don't really put too much stock into that. I think that he should pitch fine here today against the Cardinals lineup that's been reeling, to say it the least. And then Lance Lynn, 4 of his last 5 starts, he's been fantastic. 6 2/3 at home against Atlanta, 1 run, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs against Cincinnati at home. He had a terrible start in Washington, 11 runs or 10 runs, whatever it was, and then comes right back, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs against the Cubs, and then goes on the road against Pittsburgh, 5 innings, no runs. So Lance Lynn has been pitching fantastic over the last couple of weeks. So I don't have any reason to believe that he doesn't pitch well today. So first 5 under 4.5.
First 5 under. Modi, your thoughts?
I passed on this one. I actually said I would lean towards the Cardinals, but without a lot of conviction at all. I just don't trust the Rangers. I also don't trust Lance Lynn, which is why it's not my favorite pick in the world. So yeah, I want nothing to do with this one.
All right. You see the Blackburn Zabet toast?
I thought that was a great move. Really good.
Rocket Sauce said it best in the comments. You don't see me jumping up and down because I know what it is. We still have business to handle.
Yeah. The difference is we just made our bullpen. We made it a 6-inning game. That's the difference.
Yeah, Robert Suarez won't blow anything. Next up.
Yeah, he's got a 1.51 ERA. He's so bad.
Pirates Astros. The game that broke me last night because I had a losing night. I went 1-3, but if I went 2-2, I would have had a winning night because the Astros had a full unit on it plus 135. So if I won the Astros game and went 2-2, it actually would have been a solid night because I was
going to say if that under hits and the Astros hit, it's a great night.
It's a great night, yeah. And the Astros was really the one that broke me. To have Presley and what's his name and Hader be the ones to do it too. So I mean, here we are. I want to bet Houston minus 1.5 here. I didn't. I saw it was available at plus 110 earlier. I don't see any reason to doubt Hunter Brown pitching to the Pirates lineup. I mean, other than that one real bad start against, was that Oakland that crushed him? Who crushed Hunter Brown?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, and we had the Twins in that one. So other than that, really, no, I had the over. We had the over in that game. Other than that really bad start against the Twins, Hunter Brown's been as reliable as any starter in baseball. So I have no problem backing him against the Pirates lineup. Bailey Falter making a road start in Houston. I mean, it almost seems like a layup kind of. I don't like laying 1.5 with the home team. It'll be Astros minus 1.5 for pass for me.
I paired the Astros and Diamondbacks in a parlay. I bet it small for 0.4 units or something like that at plus 143. So the only reason I didn't play Houston minus 1.5 is because of the bullpen situation. Hader, Presley, Abreu all have worked a lot, and Scott a lot. But I still think you're going to see, well, my guess is you're going to see Hunter Brown for 6. You're probably going to see King or Martinez deal with the rest of it, Montero for a little bit. And by that time, it really shouldn't matter if the Astros are doing what they should do at the plate. So, I'll talk about Arizona when we get there.
So someone in the comments wants to know if you know Verlander's record in the World Series.
I don't. Wait a minute. Oh, we did win the Astros that year. So, yeah.
Modi, what are your thoughts on this one?
The people who had money on the Astros the whole year to win.
You talking about 22?
2022?
Yeah, that's tough to hear, but I don't blame you. I have Brian Reynolds 2+ bases, plus 148, half unit play. This isn't really a fade of Hunter Brown, who I do think is good, but he gives up a little bit more power to lefties. Like his average allowed against righties is 282. While it's only 236 against lefties, but his slugging is higher. And that's just because like he has given up 8 of his 14 home runs to lefties and 10 of 13 doubles. So it gives up a little bit more power. His hard hit rate increases 6%, which is the biggest difference. And then Reynolds is also better against right-handed pitching. Line drive, right, fly ball rate, pull rate, hard hit rate, all higher against righties compared to lefties. That also looking at like his actual batting average, slugging, OPS, WOBA. And he also crushes four-seam fastballs. He's hitting 342 with the 567 slugging, 983 OPS, and 22.5 ISO rate. And that's what Brown throws over 40% of the time. So just hoping he hits one in the gap for this one. Again, it's only a half unit play. But yeah, I thought it was good value for plus 148.
Why did it B-Rye? Is that his nickname? Yeah, what is that? B-Rye? I guess like B-Ray would be the way, but why not just write Reynolds? What? He just like made up a nickname for him that doesn't even make sense. Andy, if you're watching, Andy, don't just stop making up nicknames for people. I didn't even know who the hell he was talking about when I saw it. All right, let's move on to the next one.
It's probably a long name. And that's
Reynolds.
No, I'm just trying to give Andy a little support.
It's not Saltalamacchia.
Poor bastard.
Royals, White Sox. This game was 2-2 going into the 6th inning, and they ended up scoring 150 runs. I don't know. I guess Royals. I have nothing. I don't even have anything I want to say.
Yeah, I paired the Royals with Baltimore. Michael Wacha has been very, very good all 3 times he's seen this White Sox lineup, and now he's facing a depleted White Sox lineup. I have no reason to believe the Royals don't win this game. So yeah, the White Sox are the worst team I've ever seen, and I'm not even kidding.
Someone says B-Rye sounds like a bread nickname. Modai, anything for this one?
I'm on the same boat as you guys. You look at my notes. I Royals -1.5. It's super square, but I have no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't talk you off that. Walker's been so good too.
And we're the type of show that tries to find ways to get away from this stuff. So it's just the White Sox are that bad.
What I wanted to do here, and I'm not going to do it. What I wanted to do was go right back to the under and try to. That's what I want to do, but I'm not doing it. There's something about, and this shouldn't logically and mathematically, this should make zero. This has have zero correlation, but there's something about placing, especially in baseball, because it's the same teams play multiple times. There's something about placing a bet, it losing, and then going back to the same bet the next day is tough. It's a challenge. It's psychological. Next game. There we are. Proppy was over there using the mouse with his left hand. Braves, Brew Crew. Who's pitching for the Brewers, though?
Joe Ross.
Last time Montas.
Is Montas pitching there already? How long has he been a member of the team?
RotoWire said that this morning. Obviously, they could be wrong, but
a RotoWire says Joe Ross right now.
Yeah, okay, and it must have changed. Yeah, I mean, I passed on this game because I had no idea.
But hold on. RotoWire says Joe Ross. Then I click on Joe Ross's name on RotoWire, and it says 60-day DL. ESPN also has him. Is he just coming off the IL?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So maybe they just don't actually take that designation off until he throws a pitch, maybe?
Yeah, Joe Ross is starting tonight, 100%.
100%.
100%.
So, Brover?
Oh, I played Braves first 5. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something.
You're going to trust Bryce Elder on the road.
I am. Yeah, there's just, I don't feel like Milwaukee. They're not playing good baseball right now. And I understand that they're 7-3, but they're playing like the Cubs and Miami. And I understand that they just absolutely went nuts last night, but I don't know. I just got this gut feeling that Bryce Elder pitches well here today. He's pitched well against them both times he faced them last year. But he's also just got lit up by St. Louis. I get that, but his previous 3 starts on the road were actually somewhat decent against Arizona, St. Louis, and the Mets. I would worry about those teams versus right-handed pitching much more than I do against Milwaukee. I think this price tells us everything. I'm on Braves first 5. I know I hate Bryce Elder, but I have a gut feeling. That's all I can say, I guess.
Oh, he's got a feeling.
I'm just saying.
Everybody says
probably were like this when you said I got a gut feeling. Probably were like this. He's disappointed. Matt.
I passed.
Compelling.
No, I don't. Considering I thought Frankie Montas was pitching this game, I got nothing.
Next game. Rockies. You know what time it is? Can Man's going to deal.
Yeah, I just don't. You just have to wait till the trade deadlines to make the bet because you don't want Renfrigo or Ward or one of those guys out of the lineup, and then you're sitting there with a freaking AAA.
I'm saying maybe under.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Angels, so yeah.
Is
I guess
Quantrill one of the guys gonna get dealt?
No, he'll be there. You're good.
He goes no. As a long reliever, I feel like someone could add Quantrill.
No. There's no way they trust him to pitch in October.
Cal Quantrill's not a hot commodity on the market?
No, unfortunately not. Maybe like a month or two ago.
So yeah, it'll be under a pass for me. I like the spot for Griffin Canning. So Griffin Canning does have better numbers at home. So he's at home. That's number one. He's also, what's Griffin Canning's biggest struggle is lefty bats. The Rockies don't have many of those. Griffin Canning's been through the gauntlet. I mean, he was pitching well for a little stretch there, but as a whole, he's pretty much been a fade. But at home, against a bad lineup, against a bunch of righties, this is a spot where we could see Griffin Canning look good. So I actually like Griffin Canning to pitch a good game. On the other side, I don't particularly love Cal Quantrill, but it's the Angels. So, I mean, give me 5-1 Angels final score. How about that?
I don't hate that. The only reason is that Renfrigo is like in talks with the Red Sox are in talks about Renfrigo. So if he's out, who's one of the better hitters in the American League, this under should be looking very, very good.
What about Matthew?
Who?
Matthew Modine.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I know I'm super lame today. I hate this slate. Matthew's got nothing. Like Toe said, who's playing for the Angels? In 3 hours, our lineup could look totally different.
It could. Next up.
I do think that's my last. Yeah, it's my last pass. So it's the last time I'll be lame.
All right. No, I mean, dude, trust me. I don't think the people are sweating it. It's not a big deal. Next up is Dodgers, Padres. Go ahead, Toast. Spew your bullshit.
I mean, you're telling me that line movement doesn't tell everything you need to know? Yeah, I'm on the Padres. It's pretty simple. I mean, they're really one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. They lost on Sunday and they scored 6-8, and they literally used all AAA guys after they pulled Randy. And they pulled Randy after 3 innings, so they're essentially just threw up the white flag. They were getting ready for this series. Matt Waldron has been really, really good. I understand that he's had a couple of bad starts now, but he has really, really been very good against the Dodgers this year in both starts, home and away. 10 total innings, only 5 hits and 3 runs. And now you have a Padres bullpen that behind him that's going to have Robert Suarez and Estrada, Morihone and Jason Adam and Matsui. It's just, and then you have a Dodgers bullpen that's shaky at best. I mean, Evan Phillips can't find the plate. I mean, I understand they just got Michael Kopech. I don't know if he plays tonight or not, but that Dodgers bullpen has been a shell of themselves. They've been absolutely terrible. The Padres have played the Dodgers extremely well this season. This is like one of the more important games on the board here today. I mean, the Padres are 5 or 6 games back of the Dodgers. They take 2 out of 3. The whole rest of the season is going to be a race to the finish. So, yeah, I'm on the Padres here tonight. Call it what you want to call it, but line movement says I'm on the right side.
I call it a bad bet.
No shit. You've been saying that, but they're all the time. But they're 7-3 their last 10, and I think you've said that every single game.
Not every game.
Which one did you not?
Man, I don't freaking have the
exactly.
Padres catch
It's
home.
not. It's every single game.
I probably bet them in there.
No, you
It's not like I've been fading this team.
You have.
No, I haven't.
Maybe you haven't been fading him, but you've been.
I like the Padres when Cease pitched.
Yeah, when he pitched the no-hitter.
I took the Padres in one of those Cleveland games. All right. So yeah, at this price, it would only be Dodgers, the much better team. Plain and simple. With Tyler Glass on the mound.
Mm-hmm. Who's been so good on the road this year. Last 2 road starts, 3 innings, 5 hits. I'm sorry, 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs against San Francisco. Previous one before that, 8 hits in 6 innings and 5 runs against the Yankees. Yeah, Tyler Glass now has been a stud on the road this year.
We're pulling heavy on the Padres. All you folks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
56%, 32% Padres.
Does not trust the audience.
Yeah, Padres, very public dog.
I don't have a play on the side, but I took Glasnow under 5.5 strikeouts. I mean, you're never going to see a line at him being over under 5.5. I feel like they're kind of telling us something with that price. And it's because the Padres just never strike out. Like, they have the lowest strikeout rate on the entire year at 18.1% against right-handed pitching. That number's lower over the last 30 days at 17.4, lower than that over the last 14 days at 17.3, which I get, it's barely lower, but it still is lower. And yeah, I mean, like, they just don't strike out a ton. I think even though his first start back was last week or 6 days ago, went 5 innings, only struck out 4. Generally takes him a little bit to come back into form. Like, his first 2 starts of the year, 3 strikeouts against the Padres, and then 5 his next start. So yeah, I'm not picking a side that I think he's going to get shelled. I just don't think he's going to get to 6 strikeouts, and it's plus money, so you're getting a pretty good price.
Tyler Glasnow under 5.5 Ks. Okay. Next game, please.
Really quickly. I had finally found the numbers. Dodgers bullpen on the road last 14 days, last 30 days, bottom third in Major League Baseball.
Dodgers are free.
Yep.
I'm at
free
Padres.
pass for you.
Next game, Washington, Arizona.
Shout out Washington. Man, thank you, God. I guess I did. I had another win last night. I guess I had a couple. Yeah.
I actually think Ryan Nelson might pitch well here.
Oh yeah, I'm on Arizona. I paired Arizona with somebody. I can't remember who, but yeah.
I think you said Kansas City.
Yeah, something like that.
It's hard to trust Patrick Corbin on the road in the desert. Like, it's just this is not
a Corbin day.
Yeah, I mean, why are we getting this price too? Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, just really quickly, Arizona hasn't been fantastic against left-handed pitching the last 14 days, but last 30 days in the full season, they're like top 10 minimum, a little bit better than that. At home, the last 14 days, they're number 4 as well. I really think that they should be able to get to Patrick Corbin. They just got to Marco Gonzalez for 7 hits. They got to Cole Reagans for 6 hits, Justin Steele for 9 hits, Kikuchi for 6 hits, 7 runs. I mean, they've done pretty damn well against some of the better lefty starters that they've seen. Not that Corbin's a good lefty starter. So Corbin actually hasn't looked terrible his last couple starts, but you know that the blow-up's coming at any time. So
I don't understand minus 166 here. I feel like
the Washington bullpen is just so bad, and they just continue to find ways to lose game. I mean, they were trying.
You mean the Arizona bullpen?
The Arizona bullpen, you said?
You said the Washington bullpen. I'm assuming you meant the Arizona bullpen?
No, I mean the Washington bullpen has been so bad.
And why is it minus 166 then? I'm saying it should be minus 210.
Oh, because
I thought you were saying the opposite.
Nelson. Yeah. Oh,
hold on. What do you think the line is? Arizona at home against Washington without take away the starting pitchers. I think it's like minus 145, minus 150.
What do you mean take away the starting pitchers?
I'm saying with Corbin on the mound against Ryan Nelson in Arizona, this should be minus 200. This line is stinky as hell. It's Corbin.
I just don't know how heavy of a price you're ever.
This is the most public play on the board here, Arizona, by far.
I mean, I'm not shoving down the door for anybody to bet Arizona minus 1.5. I'm just saying that I don't know if Ryan Nelson's ever going to be minus 190. I don't know that.
At home against Corbin?
At home.
Well, hold on. So take away the starting pitchers. What's the line? Washington at Arizona. Take away the starting pitchers.
How do you cap a game without starting pitching?
They have even starting pitchers on the mound.
Minus 130?
Really? A playoff team against the Nats at home?
Is Arizona a playoff team? I don't know.
Well, hold on. Minus 130 at home means they're minus 110 at a neutral field.
Is home just automatically equal 20 cents of juice?
I go 20 cents home, 20 cents neutral, 20 cents road. All right. So what do you like, Modi?
I took this one. This is probably going to be super square. I took Ketel Marte to hit a home run. I feel like last time he played Corbin, everybody was on him. The entire world was on him, and he was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Corbin. And I think he finished with the golden sombrero in that game, if I remember correctly. So I think that nobody's going to want to take him after that. But like, he still owned Corbin in his career. Even if you take into account his 3 at-bats this year, he's got 14 career at-bats against Corbin, batting .417, 2 home runs, another 3 extra base hits. Like, I'll accept that his last start was just a weird blip because he's much better against left-handed pitching. He's annihilated Corbin in the past. And he hit one yesterday. Granted, that was late in the game, but still, he hit one yesterday. That doesn't really scare me off because we've seen plenty of times batters can hit 2 in a row. And I really just try to isolate the individual matchup. So yeah, I took Ketamache to hit a home run.
This line is really disgusting.
Okay, I'll give you this. The last time that Patrick Corbin pitched at home against Arizona was minus 173.
And who pitched for Arizona?
Fought.
So 7 cents more.
I guess Fought's a way better pitcher. That doesn't help. I think you got to remember Ryan Nelson at home isn't very good. I mean,
why is the total only 9 then? This whole thing stinks.
I agree. I mean, we could probably play this game
I think the Nats are gonna win a low scoring game. Like exactly the opposite of what everyone thinks is gonna happen. Arizona money line is gonna be in every single. We're polling it. The whole world's betting Arizona here. Arizona money line is gonna be in every single parlay in the world. I like Washington to win 4-3 in a surprising low scoring game. I don't know if I actually bet it, but I actually will go further and saying I'm not going to bet it because that doesn't even make sense. But because this line stinks, and that's what's gonna happen.
And the reason probably everybody's betting Arizona is, like I said, that Washington bullpen is so bad. I mean, Kyle Finnegan, they've been trying to trade him, and he looked he gave the game away yesterday. And then so he's won 28 pitches, so that's their closer. And then Derek Law and Robert Garcia, who's their setup and middle relievers, they've all went 3 of the last 4 days. It's just the Washington bullpen. You're going to need
bullpens are taxed. They suck. Corbin versus Nelson, and the total's only 9 in Arizona. Dude, everything about this stinks. All right, next game. Oakland, San Francisco. This is another one I wanted to talk to you about, Toast. I wanted to talk about the swirling wind because I like the over. But I'm not going to. This is another ballpark where shit's weird. The wind swirls, according to Toast. He gave us a whole breakdown of what the swirling wind did. He even gave us a little bit of he demonstrated the swirls. Modai, do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, sure. Final dong of the day, Tyler Fitzgerald. He's been on fire. He's got a great matchup against JP Sears. Looking at his stats since the All-Star break is wonky because he's hit like 7 home runs in 11 days or something. So yeah, of course they're going to be ridiculous, but like 25.9% barrel rate. That's the 6th best. And like JP Sears is terrible. He's like the 5th worst barrel rate, the 19th worst hard hit rate, 15th worst average exit velocity. And with a terrible launch angle, like all that put together, it's a death sentence, especially when you again consider the launch angle. And again, Fitzgerald's been on fire, so I'll take him in a really easy matchup to hit a home run. And he's plus 600, like he's plus 600, which I think is crazy.
Look at Andy, T Fitz. Andy just takes it upon himself to type his own nickname, T Fitz. Is that even his nickname? Like T Fitz.
T Fitz is a cool nickname.
Fitzy, but that's
no. It's just like he just like types whatever in there. Like
that's good stuff.
There's so much room on the top line of that graphic to type Fitzgerald. Like so much room. All right, Toast, do you have anything for this one? Robbie Ray's gonna get hit up though, right?
Oh yeah, he's gonna get hit up. As far as the weather's concerned, you got a couple of good things in your favor. Humidity over above 75%, so that's a positive, especially in Oracle Park. And you're looking at 12 to 14 mile an hour winds blowing out of the ballpark.
Total over, betting it now. Say less. Once you made the sale, stop selling.
As far as me, I played Oakland team total over 3.5 at a plus price. I'm going to continue to play Oakland team totals until they give me a reason not to, especially against left-handed pitching. Let's just go Oakland bats over the last 14 days in general, 2nd in WRC plus, 3rd in OPS and WOBA. Over the last 30 days, number 1, 3, and 3 in those categories. Oakland versus left-handed pitching, 5th in WRC plus, 6th in OPS and WOBA the last 14 days, even better over the last 30 days. They're a top 3 unit. We just saw Robbie Ray look good against the Dodgers, like in the couple innings, but what was it? Set 2 through 5. extremely lucky to get out of that first inning with only 1 run. If he has those issues with Oakland, it's not going to be the same result. Also, Oakland versus lefty starters, 3 off of Anderson, 4 off of Ranger Suarez, 5 off of Cole Irvin, 3 off of Tyler Anderson, 2 off of Cole Reagans, 8 off of Chris Sale. I trust Oakland to score runs here today. And even if Robbie Ray pitches somewhat decent, we all know how bad that San Francisco bullpen is, and they haven't done anything to make it better. So rested or not, Oakland should score.
Someone said, does this guy ever hit his home run bets? He hit 4 last night.
He hit like 4 yesterday.
So T Fitz he likes. T Fitz.
T Fitzy, yeah.
I'm going to call him that now for so long because that's all I'm going to think about.
All right, let's hit the song Community Parlay.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We come unite, making a parlay. Yeah.
He's sitting there typing whatever name. He's like, I think I'll call him T Fitz.
T Fitzy's cool.
All right, Community Parlay. We ready to vote? Orioles money line. Proppy versus fumbling around with the keys. Orioles money line. Phillies money line now probably with no Cole. A lot of people like the Marlins, but it was raised. It was raised, won that poll. Red Sox money line. While you guys are voting, if you found Matthew compelling, Matthew, want to tell him where they can find your stuff, and you unblock his face?
Yes, if you found me compelling, you can find my YouTube channel where I post all these home run bets in NFL when that starts, NBA when that starts, at Jedi Modi Sports Network. You can also find me on Twitter at, you see my handle here, where I'll post like if I write any Newsweek articles and stuff. So yeah, Twitter can find anywhere you go, but I have a YouTube channel and then I write for Newsweek.
Yo, Matt, you know what I was thinking? And we could talk about this later, but I want to do, so my NFL show Sunday mornings at 11. I want to do 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. prop hour, where it'll be like you, Prop Ever, if he wants to put on his big boy pants. It's like an hour of props. If you could commit to Sunday mornings, we could talk.
Yeah, that's what we have to talk offline, because I do mine at 11. So I just don't know if people tune in to yours and mine, they're going to go from yours to mine, and then like I'm going to say the same shit over and over again.
Well, I mean, when you leave at 11, I start my show.
Oh, you're right. So they wouldn't even go from.
I would imagine
yours.
They'll stay.
No, you're right. Yeah, and it's also like going live back to back for two straight hours.
Yeah, trust me, I'm familiar with it. It's a beast.
Yeah, so we'll have to we'll talk. Let me think on that.
All right, what do they vote for? Orioles. Next poll is it's probably the Cubs with Steele, Grimace, Rangers, and Astros. Pick Dogs ripped the parlay song. No comment. All right, cast your votes. Cubs, Grimace, Rangers, Astros. Get the second leg going. So if you want to stick around, we're doing the Miami Dolphins next. We did Buffalo Bills yesterday. Then we got the rest of Conference USA on deck. We got Andy and Scoop coming on. So the Dolphins are a team I like, and Prop even found some cool angles for the Dolphins. So it also, we're going to clip these up. So if you have to go and don't want to stick around, we're going to clip these up and upload them. So this isn't something you have to catch right now. Like you'll see, we'll upload Dolphins season preview, and it'll be the clip from this show with graphics and stuff. So if you have to go, but you wanted to hear what we said about the Dolphins, no problem. It'll be uploaded. You can rewatch these for the next month. But we are about to talk about the Dolphins. Then we're going to talk about Western Kentucky, who Andy thinks is some dark horse. I mean, they're probably the second favorite to win the conference, but still Liberty has that runaway. Oh, I'm sorry. We won the poll. Don't get me started on Western Kentucky. I'll talk all day. Next up, did we have the Royals in a poll yet? All right, Royals. Braves, Brewers. Who did they like? Probably the Braves, because the Brewers, yeah. Rocky, Angels. And the Padres won the poll, aka public dog of the day, aka sucker bet.
Padres have the best bullpen in baseball. That's all I care about.
Guardians?
No. Not with
No Moda to get what?
Not with getting Adam and Tanner Scott. It's not even close.
You getting the odds together?
All of them have.
Moda, do you getting the odds together for this parlay? Prop Fever wanted me to make sure that you're getting the odds together for this parlay.
Yeah, I got him.
He said he seems like he's slacking. Prop Fever's words, not mine.
I mean, I was distracted. I nobody cares about anybody's fantasy team, but I'm in like a long draft in a dynasty league, and I'm currently up. So I'm just with 2 co-managers, so I'm navigating that. So he wasn't wrong. I was slacking.
I don't think I could stress enough how little I care about your dynasty league draft.
I know. That's why I made sure that was the first sentence out of my mouth was nobody cares.
I would rather hear your starting lineup on the diamond of Pokemon, on the baseball diamond.
Ooh.
Who's catching?
Who's catching? Blastoise is catching. Got to get a big guy down there. Some power.
He doesn't have
defense.
the agility, bro. So many wild
for a
pitches.
catcher. He could be.
All right, Diamondbacks, Giants, and then put Grimace and Phillies back in it. Now you got to put someone with more agility behind the plate,
What do you need agility for?
like a Gengar
Yeah, you need like a Bo Naylor back there.
or a Bo
Gengar's
Naylor.
good. You could convince me with Gengar.
Where's Charizard playing? That's all I care about.
He's first base.
I figured. His comp is Movon.
Movan.
Who?
You don't know who Movon is?
I know who move on. Who's he a comp to?
Oh, Charizard.
Oh, good point there.
I couldn't even tell you what Charizard looks like. He just said first base. So
Big
I
orange
figured
ass
I
lizard.
picked some ugly guy with power. That's what I picked. And that's the first name that came to my mind was
It's
Movon.
120 hit points. D-backs money line, and the odds are so Orioles money line, Astros money line, Royals money line, D-backs money line.
447.
Wow.
Oh, community went square today. So Orioles money line, Astros money line, Royals money line, D-backs money line plus 447. Did you cook something up for us, Propier? Oh, you got a season long. All right, so we'll wait for the underdog because it's an NFL one. So,
Ooh.
gentlemen, enjoy your day. We got to talk real sports now. So let you guys go play with your toys. Let the adults talk.
I'm going to go play with my son, but yes, you guys have a good day.
Later.
See you guys.
Oh, I forgot to send those motherfuckers the invite.
All right, I'm out.
Later. Yeah. All right. Miami Dolphins, AFC East. Andy's name is Rusty. You know, like, so there's a lot of people watching that have never met Andy, so they're genuinely like, who's the new guy, Rusty? Rusty. Better than T-Fits. Yo, look at the shirt he's rocking. I forgot I gave him one of those shirts. Rusty breaking out his finest threads for the occasion.
Me too. I had.
I'm only here. All right, and Scoop is here as well.
I was getting absolutely shit on the whole MLB show for my nicknames. What the heck?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I like
They were they're nicknames of those players.
B-Ry?
B-Ry, if you go on his baseball reference, I spelled it wrong. I put B and then dash R-Y. It's B-R-E-Y.
Yeah,
But
for E-Ray.
the nicknames are
I thought you were talking about like B Rabbit from like Eminem.
No,
All right.
Also, wait. Before we start, you remember that Tom Cruise clip with like him dancing on the couch in Oprah or some shit? That was toast. That was toast when they signed some bum ass or they get traded for a bum ass reliever.
No, Tanner Scott's good, but
okay. Let's not like think it's the end of the world.
I probably would have did the same thing if the Mets got him.
The Mets got Blackburn, bro.
I know, huge pickup.
Huge.
Grimace takes over Tyler McGill.
Yeah, no more Meatball McGill. All right, so let's go ahead and talk Miami Dolphins. As you guys know, kind of a rough break to the end of the season last year for the Dolphins to play a playoff game. I think it was like negative 78 degrees.
28 degrees.
Yeah, like
playing bad weather.
And that team historically, not just like this team with Tua, but the Miami Dolphins historically, their playoff record in games below 32 degrees is like insanely bad. So yeah, we laid it. If I remember correctly, we laid the points there. But all right, so couple things this year. Let's go to additions, subtractions first. Let's talk about the roster changes. You might have to make the graphic a little bigger for that one because I think it's 10 and 11 in the slideshow. I think 10 and 11 are it'll be 10 or 11. I'll get there. Graphics are a little unorganized. We're still getting the football stuff going. Is it not 10 or 11? Then just keep scrolling until you find it. It'll be in there somewhere. There we go.
It's preseason for us too.
All right. So you know what? I should probably open it up myself so I can see it. So there's a lot of positives here for the Dolphins, and I have to say, on paper, I'm big on this Dolphins team. But first, we'll talk about why I'm big on them. So they lose
a lot.
No, it's all right. I can see it on my side. They lose Van Ginkel, which is huge. Without a doubt, he was great for them. But the thing is, they get those two guys back from injury. Not Shaq Barrett. He wasn't there. But they get Phillips and
Chubb
and Bradley Chubb. Those two edge rushers the Dolphins have that missed a lot of the season are now healthy. Now they're coming off Achilles injuries. What I'm saying is, I don't think that Van Ginkel loss is necessarily that huge of a blow. The only reason he was that big of a factor on the team. Now he played great. He was arguably the best defender on the team last year. So I'm not saying it's nothing, but the only reason he had such a high usage rate on the defense was Bradley Chubb and Phillips were both hurt. Both those guys being back should minimize the blow of that loss. And they also added Calais Campbell and Shaq Barrett, two veteran edge rushers. So yes, Van Ginkel gone sucks. The Dolphins pass rush takes a hit, but they have Phillips and Bradley Chubb, and then the third and fourth edge rushers are Calais Campbell and Shaq Barrett. So they're good. The Dolphins pass rush, I think they were like, let me scroll down, third in pressure rate, 7th in adjusted sack rate, 27th in blitz rate. So this team was able to generate pressure last year without blitzing, and I don't think that's going to change. So I don't mind that loss of Van Ginkel. I think the Dolphins will be fine. They also added Chop Robinson in the draft in the first round, which is huge. Now, Proppy, what were you saying about – so me and Proppy were talking about this yesterday. Fangio, they wanted him out? The players did not like Vic Fangio.
I don't think anyone likes Vic Fangio.
I don't think his family likes him either.
So in comes Anthony Weaver, and a little bit of a – all right, so if you don't know who Anthony Weaver is, he's the new defensive coordinator for Miami, taking over for Vic Fangio. And I suppose if you're looking to poke holes in the Dolphins' defense, I guess you could point at this guy and say, like, what has he shown us to prove that he can run an NFL defense? I mean, he was the DC of the Texans, I think, in 2020. Wasn't impressive. I mean, I think they had the 31st. Was it 31st, Prop Beaver?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Prop Beaver was freaking on it, man. Use the alt key for that. There you go. So there it is right here. So there's the last time Weaver was the DC. It was the Texans in 2020. They were 31st. So this is his first time getting a defensive coordinator opportunity since then. But we do have to mention that he spent the last 3 seasons under the tutelage, let's say, of Harbaugh in Baltimore, who's had the best defense. Do you guys, let's swing it over. Do either of you guys want to talk about Anthony Weaver? So, I mean, is there going to be a drop off with no Fangio here?
I certainly think so. As much as they don't like Vic Fangio, Fangio has had track records of having pretty damn good defenses throughout his whole career. But and anytime you have a guy that had 31st in the league in his only season as a DC, tough not to be concerned with that. So that definitely, I think, will make a difference. But I think you were right. I think they have so much talent on this defense, but overall on this team that things will have to go wrong for them to not be successful on this side.
I don't think Anthony Weaver's a bad defensive coordinator. I mean, it's his first chance, but he's been good on the D line for the Ravens the last couple of years. So, by the way, Shaq Barrett retired. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. This is why we do these. Shaq Barrett.
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
Mm-hmm. It was probably right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to we're definitely, because there's guys that are just randomly retiring. On a lot of teams right now.
We're gonna have to update these 100 times. So
I think Emmanuel Ogbah signed. So
he probably retired right after I updated the sheet.
Most likely,
right? Like right after. Here we go. Shaq Barrett retired. So now Shaq Barrett is off the graphic. Okay. So, all right. So a little difference of opinion there. I actually think the defense will be fine, and I think coaching alongside somebody like John Harbaugh and one of the best defenses in the NFL for multiple seasons can only help you. And now he jumps into a load of talent. How much talent did he have there in Houston with old ass JJ Watt?
That was in my head as I was thinking about it. There couldn't have been much for that.
Yeah.
That was also the COVID year too, so it was a really weird year for him to have his only opportunity to be running a defense be a year where there was basically NFL rosters were getting bludgeoned every weekend. So yeah, I guess you can take that with a grain of salt, but definitely something to look at.
So overall, I'm big on the Dolphins defense. I think at the very least they stay the same. I think they could improve, honestly. Yeah. Keep in mind, Ramsey missed a lot of last season, and when he came back, that Dolphins man coverage was as good as any other man coverage in the NFL as far as defending the pass. So I think the Dolphins defense is going to be fine even without Fangio. And on the offense, again, nothing but positives to say here. Like, put up the running back duo shit, the graphic you made. This is crazy. So here's the Dolphins running back duo, 1,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 5.8 yards per carry between these two guys. And here it is right here. DVOA ranks amongst running backs last year. A-Chain was first. Mostert was second. First and second in the NFL last year. And DVOA amongst running backs were both Miami Dolphins. And the way that the play calling is so innovative. And what? Here you go. First in motion frequency, as if you knew what I was going to say. That's crazy. Nice work. There's so many pieces moving in so many directions, so much speed. I don't see how this even slows down, honestly. Yeah. Okay. So this is Prop Beaver put this graphic in. It is a good point. So Prop Beaver is pointing out their slow pace, and with the offensive firepower they have, why are they not running more plays? They're 24th in pace, but right here, dead last in the NFL in pace when down 7+, which I thought was weird. I mean, how do you down 7 points with that kind of offense?
Stick to your guns.
Yeah, run. I would expect all these numbers to be higher. All of these numbers should be higher, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and claim to be more familiar with the Dolphins offense than Mike McDaniel. I'm sure he has a reason for it. I just thought it was interesting to point out that they do run a very slow pace. Now get to the blocking numbers, the pass blocking numbers. So check this out. This is another good graphic from Prop Beaver here. So the Dolphins pass protection, third in adjusted sack rate. So you might be like, oh, one of the best pass blocking lines in football. But actually, they're 31st in win rate. And the reason that's possible, you might be saying that doesn't make sense. No, it does, because Tua gets the ball out so goddamn fast that even if you win your battle against your opposing lineman, it doesn't matter. He's getting the ball out. So I think the Dolphins' pass protection may be on the overvalued side based on the fact that he gets the ball out so fast that they're unable to generate pressure.
Plus, by the time any of their skill positions run a route, it's 2 seconds. So, I mean, whether it's Hill, Achan, or anyone, they're already 10 yards down the field by the time he throws the ball. So,
this was my only part of the roster that I was even. I think you said it yesterday that they should win the Super Bowl. They have that good of a roster. The only problem would be if they're not able to protect him. But I think the way that they motion and the way that they run their offense is like they've made it so that he can't get hit to the point where he takes that shot that gets them off the field. So, like, in theory, this team should be very, very good.
Exactly. And so a couple things that you just said. Let's look at Tua's numbers when pressured. They're concerning. Let's talk some negative.
When he's under pressure, he gets scared, in my opinion.
So if you switch over to the graphics folder from Premiere, there you go. One of them will be Tua when kept clean, and Tua when pressured will be in there somewhere. So let's get to the Tua pressured numbers.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
That's Trevor Lawrence.
The GOAT.
All right, is that kept clean?
There you go. That one.
All right. So this is the weak spot. This is the Achilles heel of the Miami Dolphins. They're the best offense in the NFL in like 18 different ways. But if Tua Tagovailoa does experience pressure, he becomes the MVP. Then he starts looking a little bit like Daniel Jones. 5.3 yards per attempt, 52.8 passer rating, which is 25th and 30th in the NFL. And also, see right under his face there, that's where I thought the best spot to put this number was. That's his pressure to sack rate. So not only are his passing numbers terrible, but also if you get pressure on him, he's very likely to take a sack. So if you get pressure on Tua, maybe he develops in this department. He's terrible.
He did bulk up about 20 pounds in the offseason.
Yeah, but like it's not about just taking hits. It's about his decision making more so than his ability to take hits. Yeah. But I'm sure that helps. I mean, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that definitely helps because I think we've been saying it for like a year now. He's one hit away from winding up in the hospital. I mean, we've seen it before. So I hope I hope it doesn't happen, but that's definitely a concern there.
So, but the way he gets the ball out quick, the way they have all those different misdirections of the running game, I think the Dolphins on paper might be one of the best teams in the NFL this year. But there's a but. So why aren't we going to bet Dolphins Super Bowl? Why aren't we going to bet Dolphins to win AFC East? Bring up the schedule. This is ridiculous. This team has the hardest schedule in the NFL. When I went through the numbers for this with Prop Ever last night, right, Andy, right before you got there. Yeah. And I was like, yo, let's go bet the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl right now. That's what I swear. And then I pulled up the schedule and I was like, oh, hell no. Wait till you see the schedule. This is unfair.
Especially like the last 6 weeks is rough.
Dude, the whole thing is bullshit if you're the Dolphins.
Green Bay at one point.
There you go. So here, Prop Ever's putting it on the screen now. Not just Green Bay. Dude, look at this schedule. Can you guys pull it up?
It's really hard.
It's insane. So you got a team that I think on paper is one of the best in the NFL as far as the coaching staff all the way down to the talent. But look at this schedule. Where are the winnable games? I mean, you got Week 4 in Tennessee. That's home. Week 8 versus Arizona. Week 11 versus Las Vegas. Week 12, they'll take one of the Patriots games, probably both. But, I mean, you would think that there's a lot of time. At Houston, San Francisco, at Cleveland. Nobody scores points at Cleveland. In late December?
From Thanksgiving on, that is brutal.
Dude, the last 2 games of the season, they go to Cleveland on December 29th and then New York in January. That's a nightmare for the Dolphins. They got shafted.
Yeah, I don't know who makes the schedules, but they had something against this team.
For real.
That is brutal because I mean, you can say week 1, maybe a winnable game. I mean, it's a home game against Jacksonville, and the weather should be perfect for that game. But yeah, that's definitely a tight one.
The last 4 from Thanksgiving on, it's a bunch of bullshit.
So I was saying it's because I mean I don't worry about their offense. Their offense is going to be the top 5 in the league. Yeah, I mean with the defense with Christian Wilkins gone now, and they just filled in with a bunch of pretty much cap friendly defensive tackles. I don't know. They play a bunch of great offenses, man, and it's going to be rough down the stretch. I mean, I know, and I know they just paid Tua the bag, $147 million through 2026. So no opt out for him till then. But I see them doing awesome on the offensive side of the ball, but playing all those teams late on the defense is going to be rough for them.
I must have missed it when I was watching day 3 of the draft like a psycho. Why the heck did they draft Jalen Wright from Tennessee? Like, did they need another runner? They have 3. I mean, I always thought he was an NFL caliber running back. So now they have 3 guys.
Wright was sick last year, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, I think Kendall Fuller is a better corner than Jalen Ramsey now. Don't at me.
Yeah, they have
overrated scumbag.
Prop Ever did this when you said that he went.
He sucks. He's miserable.
Tell
him to cry some more.
All right, Kendall Fuller's nice, but Rich Ramsey's that dude. But all right, so we're starting to ramble now. So let's talk win totals here. you can get an under 10.5 really expensive, or you can get a really expensive over 9.5. What a nightmare! If it wasn't for the schedule, if it wasn't for the schedule, I would hit that over 9.5 at -130 so hard. If it wasn't for that freaking schedule.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under the 10.5. I actually like the under 9.5 personally.
What?
I think they're gonna go 9-8 this season.
I would probably
because you don't like the team.
No, I like I said, I like the team. I like the offense. Defense might be a little shaky, but yeah, that schedule sucks. So I think they're gonna go 9-8.
I'll say this: the NFL season's so odd that by the end of the season, one of those really good teams that we're looking at right now could be a team that had a lost season. So I'll lean they'll get over 10.5 because they have a lot of talent. So I'll go over.
Well, you could also take the over 9.5.
Yeah, I'd probably go over 9.5 because it's safer. But yeah, I think they'll get lucky that maybe one of those teams late in the season's having a lost year and they'll have that win. I would more likely think that would be Cleveland, but it is a brutal schedule at the end, and if everybody's playing up to their talent level, then it could get ugly. But I would lean over there.
Give me the over as well, 9.5. I think judging by, you can get a juiced over 9.5 or a juiced under 10.5. Pretty indicative that the odds makers think they're landing on 10. So Scoop said he would take under 10.5. Maybe we would all win. I don't think. This will make my top 5 though. Usually what I do, if you're new to the channel, I post my 5 favorite win totals. And what we're doing, you were asking, a couple people asking about teams. So I will post the schedule. This is only day 2. We're doing 1 NFL team and 5 college teams a day. So we've done the Bills. Today's the Dolphins. Tomorrow is the Jets with Prop Beaver said he's coming on for his team. And also, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's defending his team.
I won't be here for a week. So
yeah, well, I have some guests to come now. I have Just a Bet Outside. So tomorrow will be me, Prop Beaver, Just a Bet Outside, and then Andy will be here too. So all right, let's get on to some college football though.
Oh yeah. Let's finish up the worst conference in college football.
Nah, there's some good conversations to be had today. Why? Because Western Kentucky's on.
Well, don't even get me.
Don't forget UTEP. Go Miners.
So if you go change the folder where the graphics were, and you don't have to add a new one, you can just change the directory like you would with the picks. So go to the pick. Oh, okay. In that case, just make a new one.
You know what UTEP stands for, right? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Texas El Paso.
Hell yeah.
What does that?
I thought there was going to be a punchline there. Yeah.
No. I just want everyone to know that UTEP is University of Texas El Paso.
They used to be called Texas Western.
It's important to know who the conference champion is going to be. So.
Oh, really?
I like UTEP too. No, dead ass. Me and Andy were talking about UTEP last night. I like what they did with the coaching staff. So we're actually do you guys want to start with UTEP and we'll go back to La Tech because we kind of segued into UTEP.
Yeah, I'll do it.
UTEP second. Just switch. Probably were just set us up for La Tech. Nah.
He probably went. I gotta move it one slot. Well, good.
Yeah,
Lord.
that's UTEP. They play NC State. That's why, because that's their week 1 game.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Yeah, I gotta.
There's UTEP. So let's go with
easy first game.
Start to the coaching graphic. Go to the coaching staff graphic first, because that's where this whole thing starts is the coaching. So if you don't know what UTEP did, so last year Gavin Hardison's final year with the team. If you don't know who he is, he was like 18th year senior with the team last year, and he gets hurt right before he was either right before the season started or right in the first game. They go through 3 quarterbacks with injuries, and then McConnell takes over, the freshman. Now he's starting, so finally they're having the same quarterback who was QB1 all off season getting the start, and they like this kid. He was a highly recruited kid, so they have high hopes at quarterback. But really, the coaching staff, they brought in the entire Austin P. Yeah, Scotty Walden's from Austin P. His defensive coordinator JJ Clark also from Austin P. Didn't they bring in like 3 or 4 transfers as well?
Their top 4 additions on our addition sheet are all from Austin P. FCS Austin P. Who I think we said have been kind of a powerhouse in the FCS. Not that anybody would know that from just
FCS God,
but FCS God, yeah. So I guess hope it translates is the way that he's going through it. I think that's the same thing that most FCS coaches do. They just take any players that were really good on their team with eligibility left. That's what he did. It's worked for some other guys. I hope he's in the right conference to do it. It's not obviously not the strongest conference. A lot of 4-win projected teams. So if there's a team that I could see kind of making a run here and winning a lot of games, it's a team that had a lot of talent come over and know the system. So I thought this was a really good hire, and I also I like that there's a lot of continuity with their whole coaching staff.
Yeah. So yeah, like Sauce said, pretty much you have the that injuries at QB was rough. I mean, they had 3 quarterbacks go down. They had their 4th stringer, K. McDonald. He took over. He's going to start here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Skylar Locklear from Austin Peay starts, because he brought over 9 Austin Peay starters from FCS. So plus the good thing is Javon Jackson Jr. is going to be a beast for him. I don't know if you saw him at Austin Peay, but he had so many yards. So I think he's going to be a top 3 running back in the conference. So yeah, I mean, I like the offense a lot of what he's doing here.
Last year, they actually had unreal pass rush numbers last year. Yeah. Depending on what website you use, PFF had them at 5th in pass rush grade, or I think they had them at 3rd, 2nd in sack rate, 2nd in pressure rate, 2nd in pass.
Westmoreland was first team Conference USA last year.
Yeah,
they were first in allowing passing yards per game too. They were a very good pass defense, very good. I will say.
Yeah, but they also played Conference USA passing offense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to again a lot of the quarterback. I mean, I will say that Conference USA's quarterback situations are all much stronger than last year. I think there was a lot of injuries. I mean, going into the season, everybody likes their quarterback, but I mean, they've had a lot of transfers come into a lot of these Conference USA teams, and so I think passing will be a big thing in this conference. I like Cade McConnell. I know I took all his stats from last year and I put them on my sheet. I mean, they don't wow you, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in his games, but a lot of the big games he was pretty good in. I mean, they went on the road in Sam Houston. He was amazing in that game. He wasn't great against Liberty, but I mean, nobody was great against Liberty. So
wasn't he good in the Middle Tennessee game too?
Yes. That was actually the game where he took his most pass attempts and he had 364 yards. So yeah, he was very good in that game.
It's just funny when you were saying with Austin Peay, but both of their offensive tackles are going to be from Austin Peay starting this year. So
yeah,
it's basically at the Austin Peay offense going against the FBS. But I mean, it's a mix of returning starters too. So I mean, Austin Peay had some hard work. They played Tarleton and Abilene Christian. So I mean, the thing is, it's Conference USA. So if it's going to work, it's going to work here. Yeah. So and plus they got Corey Wren from TCU, the running back, and he was great last year. So. Yeah, their offense is going to be awesome.
You're the Miners. So before we give our win totals, let's pull up the schedule and we'll go win-loss. I think I like the over here, but the thing with these Conference USA schedules, there's so many coin flip games because the whole conference is a freaking coin flip.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
their non-conference, I don't think are coin flips. That's the thing. Like every single one of their non-conference games, I feel very confident.
No, so there's a Central Michigan game in there, I think. Who plays
but it's funny because every over/under that you're gonna list is like 4.5. It's like so funny. It's like everyone's just like right in the middle, 4.5.
It's Liberty, Western Kentucky, and then everyone's at 5 or 4.5.
Yeah.
All right. So Prop Beaver's bringing up
their schedule should be their Nebraska should start. Yeah.
Yep. Prop Beaver's bringing it up now.
They have an easy one.
They have
after
an awful
that,
out.
They're going to probably
really hard out of conference.
I should pull up. I'm gonna.
There we go.
Game lines because I'm curious what that line is against Nebraska.
All right, so on the road in Nebraska is a loss. Matt
Rules,
they
should get crushed.
Yeah. Matt, this is
new quarterback, freshman quarterback.
Yeah. Matt, that's a loss. Southern Utah win. At Liberty loss. At Colorado State, I don't know. I haven't looked at Colorado State at all this year. Is
they won't.
Nicolosi still there?
They won't. Right? Yeah, they won't win that game. They're a much improved.
Colorado State?
Yeah, Colorado State's very improved from what they were.
Based on what?
Year. And they were not terrible. No, they added a lot of good transfer portal guys. Same coaching staff. Obviously, Fowler, Nicolosi still.
Also, Andy, Nebraska's given 28.
Ooh. With a freshman? Damn. Ooh, I'm interested. I feel like week 1, you guys are gonna have to talk me out of a lot of Conference USA teams.
I'm not talking that shit. Go bet it.
That line is 28 with. All right.
Yeah, and Nebraska's Nebraska still. So
Colorado State, let's say loss. Home Sam Houston's a win. That's 2. At Western Kentucky, loss. Home FIU, probably a win. They could probably run the ball in FIU.
Yeah, they should be able to.
That's 3.
I have it as a win.
At La Tech, lost. Sonny
That
Cumbie.
lost, yeah, lost.
Yep. Home
Middle
against Middle
Tennessee is
Tennessee.
lost as
No,
well.
that's a win. Middle Tennessee's coaching staff. Oh my God!
I got to win.
Yeah, I'm aware
It's a
that
win.
the whole coaching staff has
That's
gone.
a win. Home against Kennesaw State. That's a win. That puts us at 5.
Yeah,
Give me the
that's a
over.
win.
Give me the over.
Even if
I'm
we-
writing this might be one I actually bet too.
Even if we disagree, we do disagree on Middle Tennessee, but I think they'd beat New Mexico State anyway. So that's an easy 5. They're gonna lose to Tennessee too. They're gonna get crushed.
Yeah, well, I would assume they lose on the road. Tennessee bro.
At Neyland, yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. Oh, so you can get this. Hold on. Proppy wants to know what Scoop's pick is.
It's gonna be over 4.5.
Let's go.
It's actually 4 in conference, but that Southern Utah game is gonna put them over.
Yeah. That easy one there. That
Yeah.
should be.
All right, next team, all over for the Miners. I think I'm gonna bet this one right after the show. My first football bet might be UTEP.
Hell yeah!
What a way to start the season.
Yeah.
With the Miners, the mighty
Yeah, you
Miners.
can
Love it.
You can select the 2.
UTEP. I think Scoop said UTEP he would take them to win the conference. If you want to do that, plus 6,000. I wouldn't do that.
Woo.
Wait, you're
the
serious?
the
You're
Conference
serious about them
USA
winning the conference?
the Conference
No.
USA odds are crazy.
I'm
The
not
Conference USA
serious.
odds are crazy.
All right. So Ben Gray in the comments says easy over 4.5. All right, Ben's with us. Easy, he says.
Talking through it,
Scotty
looks
Walden.
easy. Talking through it looks like it's very easy.
All right, guys, we'll pull up the coaching staff. It's time to talk Sonny Cumbie football.
Oh, jeez, Sonny Cumbie.
See, we're not going to be able to do anything objective here because Prop Beaver has this weird thing against Sonny Cumbie.
I mean, the fact he's a bad football coach probably doesn't help.
So, well, hold on. He got the kiss of death. And if you don't know what that is, that means if you're a head coach, you retain your job, but you lose both your coordinators.
Exactly.
They call it, the Prop Beaver calls it the kiss of death. Means you're about done. I would imagine Sonny Cumbie has a realistic chance of getting fired mid-season, right?
Realistic is a very good way to
no.
put it. Yes, that is.
If
If they lose a couple of these games,
if
yes,
they lose,
100%.
okay. If after that Middle Tennessee game in week 5, I guess that would be week 5. Yeah, that would be week 5.
Oh yes, it's week 5.
So in that, if they lose that Middle Tennessee game and drop to 1-4, he's out right there.
Yeah, that's.
He needs
Yeah,
he
that's
needs
a
to pull an
weekday
upset.
game too. Definitely a weekday game. You can get fired on a weekend. 100%.
Yeah, well, he's fired if they're 1-4 after Middle Tennessee because I honestly think they lose on the road at FIU.
Yeah, I think we talked. I don't think Tulsa will be a game they win, even though
No.
Tulsa's not the strongest team. I don't like this team, and I was surprised when we looked at how good some of their players were last year, but they lost everything, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
really
go to
matter.
the subtractions additions, please, sir.
They brought in a running
They
back
lost
that has a
everybody.
lot of question mark. Yeah, they.
Well, they brought in Ty
I mean,
Hughes.
yeah.
leave
They
that
got-
on
they brought in
recording
Ty
production.
Hughes. It was like a JUCO, and I thought he was going to start, but he said he's still starting Jack Turner, who pretty much sucks. So I don't,
Yeah, no,
I
Jack
don't-
Turner was actually pretty good.
He was okay. He was like
he's
5
solid in his limited-
touchdowns, 5 picks.
5 touchdowns, 1 pick, five touchdowns, 5 picks. Fine. They brought in a running back from Texas State that has 400 yards over 3 years. You can't really do much with that. He's probably going to start too.
And they lost every
I
single
don't-
wide receiver in the whole team,
Yeah.
pretty much.
all their top 5 tacklers are gone on defense. It's brutal in terms of returning production. I thought I brought up the kiss of death yesterday when he told me that on Friday. I was curious about how it goes in college football, and it is a known thing that like if you bring in 2 coordinators, it's your parachute, your lifesaver, and they don't have a good enough roster for that. Like that first game against Nichols will be good. They'll start 1-0, but I think it's going to get very ugly after that. Their quarterback Bachmeier, he left. I was stunned when we saw his PFF grade from last year because I could have remembered him sucking, but he was pretty good. He had an 80 PFF grade.
He
That
missed a lot of
leaves-
the season. He was hurt for a lot of season.
Yeah, but it still means he played well when he was on the field. That's surprising
I didn't
enough.
see I bet La Tech.
I didn't think he was good either.
I wasn't particularly impressed with him. I'll say that. So you see, Prop Beaver's got the graphic on the screen. 120th in returning production. Just 10 returning starters on the entire team. Now go to the addition subtraction where you can see the players, and you can see the players they lost. Like a lot of their most important pieces from last year. Bachmeier, as he mentioned, running back, receiver, quarter, definitely took a hit. And the scary part is they lost a lot of their main pieces on the offensive side of the ball. And the reason I'm saying that's the scary part is that's the only thing they did halfway decent was move the football. They couldn't stop anybody. Go down to Prop Beaver, scroll to their total defensive numbers. It says total defense, run defense, pass defense on the left side. Total defense, run defense. Look at that run defense. A 131st in the country in effective rush, 131st in yards per carry allowed, and that's against a Conference USA schedule. They did play. Louisiana Tech did play. I think it was Kentucky earlier in the season.
Okay, but they also played Northwestern State.
They played. Their schedule was FIU. Then they played SM. They went to SMU. They played Nebraska, but that isn't in North Texas. Those aren't super.
They played Kentucky, right?
No, they didn't play Kentucky. They didn't have
yes,
the
they
only
did.
power conference team. The only power conference team that they played was Nebraska, and they actually didn't get blown out. They only lost by 2 touchdowns.
Hold on. I need to go to Kentucky's schedule and see who I'm thinking of right now.
They allowed 33.5 points per game. That was the most in the Conference USA. Allowed 418 yards per game. That was the most in Conference USA. And you're taking all the talent that was on that defense off.
Yeah,
the numbers are probably going to dip. If you look at it,
remember the coldest Crawford from Nebraska? They got him now. He signed that stupid ass NIL deal with the air conditioning company. It was awful.
He's not very good.
They got a bunch of freshman wideouts or redshirts. It's not going to be a good offense.
So
this is a fired mid-season coach.
Something you can point out though, and could be a huge. Go to Jack Turner, kept clean and when pressure, because Jack Turner did play last year because Bachmeier was hurt, missed a chunk of the season. Jack Turner is surprisingly poised under pressure. Look at that pressure to sack rate. A-, B- QB. And by the way, if you're wondering where these grades come from, it's percentile. So A+ would be like 95th or above percentile, 85th and 95th is A, et cetera, et cetera. So he's actually got better looking numbers. Now he doesn't get the ball downfield, but when you're playing on a bad football team, having a quarterback that can handle pressure is a positive. Now I'm grasping at straws here, trying to think of anything positive to say. It's going to be tough sledding.
Yeah, the only positive I see is, Sheldon, Willis, and Crosby were hurt for their running game most of the year, but I don't know. So they're going to get Denario Davenport Jr. is going to come in from Texas State, like Andy said, but who knows how he's going to be. He didn't have any starts there, so
yeah, he was RB2 at Texas State.
Right.
Is he a game changer?
Yeah, I don't.
400 yards over 3 years is not. Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to the schedule because this is where it gets a little weird because based on what you're looking at on paper, you should say like, oh, Sonny Cumbie's coaching in desperation mode for his job. So you want to look towards the under. Does I see a lot of winnable games on their schedule, though? Oh, let's pull it up here.
Yeah, they open with Nichols, so that helps.
Nichols has pulled. I will give Nichols a little bit of credit. They have pulled upsets in the past, so they're not a team to look by. They're always up toward the top of FCS ranks. Not saying they're going to win the game under any circumstances, but if there was
Andy, it's a win.
If there was a game where you're going to look week 1, that's a game that will be looked at.
No, it won't. We're not going to look at that at all.
You make it like an FCS team doesn't beat a conference team every year. It happens every single year.
Not Nichols.
Get on the line for that, right?
If it was South Dakota State, we could talk.
Yeah, South Dakota State's winning week 1.
We're not talking about Nichols. That's a win.
Or North Dakota State's winning.
At NC State, what's the line on that one going to be? 49.5? Wolfpack win. Andy thinks Tulsa should come in. Is that a neutral site game? That's important.
No,
man.
That's at Louisiana.
Yo, could they steal that one? I don't know. I haven't looked at Tulsa at all yet.
Beat Tulsa. I think we looked at them a little bit. I think it's more of a toss-up. I'd still side Tulsa because I don't think this is a good football. I think La Tech's going to give up a lot of points no matter who they play. So I think it's a toss-up that I'd lean Tulsa, but
let's call it a toss-up. At FIU is a loss. Middle Tennessee home. That's a win. Middle Tennessee's bad, bro. That coaching staff, their offensive coordinator is from the XFL. Dead ass.
He's a pro. That's a pro. I don't know.
They're a reputable organization, so
they practically brought in Vince McMahon to be the OC. No, they're all Middle Tennessee. Dead ass. Their OC is from the XFL.
Didn't they win the whole thing though? Didn't we go through that?
Yeah, they had the number one defense, the Houston Roughnecks.
Number one defense in the XFL.
Not bad.
They actually had that in the notes next to them. They're like number one defense, Houston Roughnecks. They had that in his bio. Like awesome. What's next? Like over 19.5 Stone Cold Stunners delivered. All right, so I think that home Middle Tennessee's a win, which puts us at 2. New Mexico State, that's a win
At-
too, bro.
At New Mexico State, middle of the week.
I don't know.
You got to give it. You got to.
I have it as a
It'll be
loss.
close.
I
Yeah,
have it as a loss.
I could see that's another toss-up though. Home against
Yeah.
UTEP, I think loss. I like UTEP.
Yeah, and they're not going into Sam Houston and winning that game.
Yes,
either.
they
I mean,
are,
that's a
bro.
loss.
Sam Houston sucks.
By the time we're,
Old Jacksonville
I mean,
State win.
You guys are so
how many
low
wins
on
do you have
Jacksonville
counted?
State.
Because I have
So low.
This team sucks, but I still see them winning 5. It's crazy.
Nah, I got them at 3. They're 3
Oh,
wins.
You're
for
under.
me where-
You're under
Wait.
for latte.
All
True or
right.
false?
I'm under.
Sonny Cumby is employed on December 1st.
So, no, I think he's gone by the Sam Houston game. I think he is fired after probably I would say October 10th is or October 11th will be the day he's fired. That is
He's under.
I hate calling people's jobs. I don't think they're a good team. They lost everything on defense. They didn't bring in enough on defense. They were already ranked 132nd in the country. I think this is an awful team. And I really don't know.
I'm putting over up for me. Thank you, Prop Beaver. But because I think they win 5, no chance in hell that I actually put any dollar of my hard-earned
No,
money
I would not
on
recommend
this.
it at all. I'm actually on the over. I think they get 5.
Yeah, let's go.
I have them 4 and
Cumby.
4. I have them 4 and 4 in conference somehow, but yeah, and the Nichols game.
4 and 4 in conference. Yeah, I could see that. That's probably what I have as well. All right, next team.
Oh, jeez.
Tulsa's going to smash La Tech, says Robert Martin. So, Andy, someone agrees with you.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not even counting that one as a win, though. I haven't win. I think they can win 4 conference games.
Yeah, you have the Middle Tennessee game as a win, which I disagree with. Dude,
Middle Tennessee has an XFL coach on their staff.
Football's football, man.
Prop Beaver was upset at that comment.
Of course he was. What isn't he upset with?
The Jets, dude, he was speaking positively about the Jets this
That's
afternoon.
crazy.
Yeah,
He's in. He's all in on the Jets.
That just
Because
sets 'em
you
up
know
for
what
failure.
triggered it? We looked at the Dolphins schedule and we looked at the Bills schedule, and then we looked at the Jets schedule, and no bullshit. They could
finished
sneak their
in-
way into the division because
They finished in third,
it's
yeah.
bullshit. The Dolphins and the Bills go through a gauntlet. Did you know that the Dolphins, despite being loaded, that actually the Dolphins are plus 220 to win the division? The Jets are plus 180. So the Jets
Yeah.
are more likely
Well,
odds wise.
Dude, first of
The
all,
Jets
I have a
finished-
bunch of Jets friends that are fans. I'm like, yo, just make the playoffs. Like, you haven't done that in forever. Just get there
Just make the
first.
playoffs, AJ.
That's all. Just be happy with that.
To be
AJ.
fair, I mean that's the way that NFL schedules work. If you finish in third, you're gonna get an easier schedule the next year. That's
Oh, is that how it works, Andy?
no, I'm not explaining it to you. I know you know that, but I'm
Andy,
just saying
explain
like
the new
that's stated-
onside
I
kick
hate to
rules.
state the obvious. Of course, they have an easier schedule. I don't.
You can't kick an onside kick
but
until
it's
the fourth
especially
quarter.
bad because the AFC's really top heavy with like Baltimore and Cincinnati on top. Then it's like Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and then it's like Kansas City and
Jags.
and the Jags, I guess. All right, let's talk New Mexico
guess.
State. And you know what? Before
Yeah.
you even get to the coaching here, where you need to go to is the returning production, because that's the story
Because
here.
there is none.
The returning
Post-Pavia
production
era.
or the lack thereof. This New Mexico State team, which was awesome. I think everyone was collectively like rooting for them to knock Liberty off, who had just cakewalked through the whole season. And they gave him a game. I mean, Liberty ended up winning and covering, but it was closer than the final score indicated. They're gone. Diego Pavia is now a Vanderbilt Commodore. New
Yeah,
Mexico.
he's gonna try to boost their squad, which I don't think will ever happen in any sport.
Yeah, but they
all right.
also got Vandy's got another quarterback out there.
Nate Johnson from Utah. Yeah,
Nate
they've got a
Johnson from
quarterback
Utah.
situation over there.
Yeah, they got like is Pavia even going to be the starter? Nate Johnson was
Yeah,
kind of
we
cool.
I
last
think he
year.
will. I think he will.
I think he should too. But I'm saying like Nate Johnson was kind of cool last year. I'm sure they told him something to get him to transfer there. They weren't like, "Hey, come out here. You'll never play."
That'd be a tough pitch for sure.
So returning production, 128th in the country, dead last on the defensive side of the ball. I'm assuming this goes up to 133 because I doubt they have Kennesaw State's returning production.
I think one. Oh yeah. I was
No,
gonna
we
say
don't have
134,
Kennesaw, so that is
Yeah,
last.
so that's dead last. Literally the least amount of returning production on the defensive side of the ball in football, in college football. Just 3 defensive starters back for New Mexico State. So you lose the quarterback, you lose the entire defense or most of it. Ugh. And if, oh man, it's tough. Now let's go to the coaching graphic here. First of all, Andy, do you think Is there any hope to recapture some of the New Mexico State magic from last season?
No. I do like I will say that they brought in a coach from the Mountain West, which helps. When you're in Conference USA and Mountain West play very similar styles, a lot of the teams. And he was at UNLV and 20-40 in his time. So
20-40, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, he wasn't successful, but he does have a style that fits the conference. I don't see it though. When you lose your top receiver, your top rusher, who was also your quarterback, and your top running back, there's nothing back on offense. He's an offensive coach who has nothing to work with, so I think that'll be brutal. As you said, their defense is all gone, and they weren't a bad defense. They had a good defense, but it doesn't really matter when nobody's back. I don't see a lot of. I thought the hire was fine because for New Mexico State, they had trouble hiring a coach a few years ago. So to get somebody
not fine, Andy. Why don't I like it? See if you remember what I said to you. I tried to teach you a lesson on humanity last night.
Of humanity?
Yeah.
I don't remember your humanity.
You don't trust
I thought, dude, a few years ago.
Don't trust an indecisive person. Don't trust an indecisive person.
Yeah. He resigned from.
He resigned fucking 11 months ago, Scoop. He resigned from football 11 months ago.
The thing about New Mexico State, and I know I'm not going to go crazy about it, but they struggled to hire a coach a few years ago. The other guy who took it, they didn't want him. Nobody wanted the job because they had a bunch of sanctions against them, and they're in a bad spot now, losing everybody. So nobody really wanted it this time. That's why he got this job. They basically pulled him from retirement. So he's got a style that fits, but they are not a good enough team to win many games here. I'm sure when we play that's why they're plus 126 to win 5 games. There's just not much here. That's the only way I could put it. If they had made good additions, maybe, but they didn't bring anybody in either.
Yeah, and if you look at what... Oh, go ahead, Scoop.
No, I was going to say now, Pavia went to Vanderbilt and they got, Parker Awad, a transfer from JUCO. Do you know anything about him that's probably going to start? There's not really anything on him. He's not going to have 1,000 yards rushing. He's not a rushing quarterback. No. He's more of a passing QB. So they're going to rely on Watkins and Mike Washington from Buffalo. What are we doing here? It's a really deep running back room. They got Seth McGowan from Oklahoma, I guess they returned 9 out of their 10 linemen on that side of the ball, but including their left tackle, which was first team all conference. But the struggle is going to be, especially defensively. They got the Sam Houston State defensive coordinator from last year, which he didn't do great. He was giving up a ton of points. So they're going to rely on a bunch of these JUCO transfers. The whole team is JUCO transfers. That's all it is. So, and a lot of models are telling them they're going to give up 30, 32 plus a game. So that's not sustainable. So, and like you said, they haven't had he didn't have a winning record at UNLV in 6 years. So it's not going to go up.
With Pavia gone, and only 5 starters returning, new offensive coach, new head coach. What they did best last year was move the ball, specifically run it. Pavia had a lot to do with that, though. He was really a really athletic guy.
He had a 1,000-yard rushing season. They're not going to have that now. They
were actually 4th in success rate in the entire country rushing the ball last year, 4th in yards per carry. With that gone, you look at the rest of their numbers, and I don't know. They were a terrible road defense. There's just not – I don't like this team at all. Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that they were so good last year maybe means where there might be some value in fading them. But then you look at the market, like Andy said, under 4.5, minus 154. Mm-hmm. So you guys – let's pull up the schedule.
Well, one last thing, their quarterback situation. I know he brought up Parker Awad. I was reading up on it. There's a pretty good chance that it's not going to be him. It could be – Deuce Hogan's from Kentucky. He's probably going to start. He has more experience being obviously at a bigger school, and Awad comes from an FCS school. So if at the beginning of the season, a lot like UConn did last year, they started the guy that had more FCS reps, but very quickly moved on to a different quarterback. That could be what happens here.
All right. So AJ pulled. Have you pulled up the schedule? It looks like. All right. So New Mexico State. Let's go through it. First game, that's a win. We'll give him that one. Nail biter. Yeah. Home versus Liberty, it's a blowout. At Fresno, they're getting
crushed in that one.
At Sam Houston, probably a loss.
Yeah, I don't like that one for them.
I don't know much about New Mexico yet. We didn't get to Mountain West.
They'll be better, New Mexico, but I don't see this. This will be this is a rivalry game, so it'll be a close one. But I'd still probably lean they're going to lose it.
Yeah, so
they won their last 2 against.
At Jacksonville State, probably a loss. So
Yeah, that one's a lot. I think that's one of the Jacksonville State games that
Jacksonville State's gonna suck. But
that we get. Yeah, but I think they get that
don't
one.
understand.
Somebody has to be god awful in this conference. I mean, there's gonna have to be two terrible teams in this conference because it's gonna be Kennesaw.
I think they're all pretty terrible.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, home La Tech,
that's a loss probably.
Sonny Cumbie.
No, Sonny Cumbie won't be coaching. That'll be the first post Sonny
No,
Cumbie game.
I got them as a win that game.
All right, so you give him that one, Scoop.
Yeah.
So that's 3. 3 possibly. Well, actually, no, that's only 2. What's the other one?
I'm giving them 3. I'll give them that one, and
I just love their 3 games. Or the last
how about
one
this? We'll give them one. They win either at Jacksonville State or they beat Louisiana Tech. We'll give them one of those.
Jacksonville State Wednesday, LA Tech Tuesday, FIU Tuesday. I love the college
Conference USA in October. It's electric. Just love losing bets on Tuesday nights.
You're writing games and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I gotta talk about this. So Tuesday night at FIU, loss. Home Western Kentucky, loss.
That's a loss.
At Texas A&M, loss. At Middle Tennessee, they could win that.
Middle Tennessee's coming off a bye that week too.
Oh God. Oh man,
that's a toss. We'll give them toss up, but now that off a bye
loss, UTEP loss.
Yeah, they're losing to UTEP.
Dude,
I got them with 3 wins. That's
under for
that's
me
I could
too.
do.
But I'm not betting this at -154, especially when we're counting losses as like Louisiana Tech as losses. Like Louisiana Tech.
It's a very tough conference to predict. Let's just say that.
Take the miners, tink, tink, tink. And he put the mining. Scoop, are you on under 2?
Yeah, I'm on under.
All right, next. We got 2 more or 1 more? 2 left.
2. We got
Middle Tennessee. Yeah. Let's get to the XFL. This coaching staff
XFL
doesn't make sense. Like, we just talked about. Pardon me. We just talked about UTEP, who just rebuilt their entire coaching staff, but they did it with some respect. They brought in the Austin Peay staff. They brought in some transfers with them. I don't even understand. This sounds like someone that was high as hell playing NCAA making hires. Like, I don't even get. Go to the coaching thing.
I mean, Derek Mason was Vanderbilt, right? Last.
No, he was
last
DC
year off,
at
right?
Oklahoma State for a year.
Oh, that's right.
For a year with Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles' defense.
Yeah, the first year post Jim Knowles, he took over. They were good, but again, it wasn't his team. And then he took a year off.
He resigned.
Who knows?
He took over Jim Knowles' defense at Oklahoma State, then resigned.
Yeah.
I'm looking up Bodie Reeder because I want to see what he did before.
We just looked it up last night. What the hell was his name? Where was he at?
Bodie Reeder's the other guy. I gotta look up the DC because Bodie Reeder was actually
he's the Northern Iowa guy.
He was very respected in the FIU at UNI. Yeah. So
they brought in Bodie Reeder, the OC from Northern Iowa. I don't know enough about him to make a comment, but Northern Iowa's been a good program. So
yeah,
maybe that one's solid. Brian Stewart from the XFL.
Does the DC? Here's my thing, and you might know you've probably watched more than you've definitely watched more than me. Does the DC matter when the coach is so significantly better as a defensive coach? I mean, because he's a defensive guy. Derek Mason's defenses at Vanderbilt were much better than, since they've been, right? So, like, he is a defensive coach. Does that make you less inclined to care about who the DC is? Because he's a very good defensive coach.
He is.
So Middle Tennessee over is a lock, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying it's a lock. They're still probably going to suck. I do like their quarterback situation.
Can we see some returning production, please?
There's a lot of work to do here. It's never a good thing when I'm researching a team and multiple sources are like, well, the long snappers are like one of the best in the conference. I'm like, all right, well.
Excellent long snapper. They're set at long snapper.
Fill the important positions first, right?
Yeah. Middle Tennessee, 111th in returning production. Now, keep in mind, these schools and a lot of these Group of 5 programs are having trouble keeping their players because of the transfer portal. So, like, 111th actually isn't. It's not good, but it's actually like not that bad.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone, Conference USA.
Yeah, so like a lot. Like, it's not just you have to worry about graduation. And
they lost a good chunk of players to major schools. So they lost a kid to Miami, a kid to Georgia State, which I guess isn't that big of a jump, and a kid to Vanderbilt. And then they also lost a kid to the NFL. So
lost a kid to Georgia State's poaching their guys.
I mean, Georgia State's better program than this.
Oh, yeah.
They still have their quarterback, Vediato. He was actually pretty good last year. He had 23 touchdowns, 13 picks. So, and he was one of the leading rushers on the team. So,
Vadiato is one of the better returning core. I mean, this is a really good returning.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's what you can say about Middle Tennessee. It's how much faith you put in the quarterback position, because they do have one of the better quarterbacks in the conference.
So the problem is they lost five or six wideouts, so that sucks. And they had playmakers, but the whole offensive line is pretty much brand new. They lost their first team Conference USA right guard, the third team right tackle. They lost their left tackle and their center. So, and plus a whole new line, learning a whole new offensive scheme from the coach. So,
Scoop, can you see the graphics on the screen? Because it's perfect for what you're talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So,
look at Vadiato's numbers when pressured. They just got a new offensive line.
yeah, that's not great.
I don't like that.
On defense, they're very young on the defensive line from what I saw, which never great when you're an entirely new defense, pretty much.
Well, the whole defensive line is new. Every single defensive lineman is new. So, and that's going to be a whole new XFL scheme that they're going to be running. So, I don't know how that's going to work.
They're going to be running pro. They're going to be running pro defense.
They're going to bring an XFL philosophy into Middle Tennessee.
I think the linebackers are like the only players that came back. So, yeah, it's a total rebuilding year for Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, so let's go to the schedule and start chalking up L's then.
Week 1's a win.
Hold on. Let me look before you say that. Yeah, I think they'll be.
We went, this is pretty quick when we went through that game.
Tennessee Tech.
Don't disrespect Tennessee Tech.
The Golden Eagles, bro.
Yeah.
The Golden Eagles may shock the world.
In-state rivalry.
And the crazy part is it wouldn't be that shocking.
No, it wouldn't. Definitely not.
So they'll beat Tennessee Tech.
Actually,
on a 4-game losing streak.
At Ole Miss lost. Western Kentucky lost. Duke lost. At Memphis lost. Then we get to at Louisiana Tech. They're almost definitely.
Memphis is going to be good this year, by the way.
Wait, what's Duke looking like post Riley Leonard?
We went through this. Yes, they're going to be decent on defense. They brought in Mike
Elko. Be good, right?
Yeah, their defense
Memphis
will be fine.
Is be really good.
They have Malik Murphy, young quarterback. The Duke will win that game, but I think it'll be
Murphy. They got from Texas.
Yeah, they got Malik Murphy from Texas.
So that's cool. I forgot about that.
Duke's going to be
that's a loss.
Duke won't be great in ACC, but they're definitely winning this game. Yes.
Yeah. So
I actually can't believe that they are called the Golden Eagles. I'm like,
you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know. Tennessee Tech, the Tennessee Technological University. I don't know.
I mean, I looked. It's all Golden Eagles. That's why I said it. Oh, why do I keep yawning? All right. So they're 1-4 heading into Louisiana Tech. Andy claims Sonny Cumbie's coaching for his job at this point.
I think this will be one of those midweek games, high scoring. I'll take the Blue Raiders in this one. I think Middle Tennessee will win that one.
So you're giving them a win there?
I give them a 2-game win streak, and then they're losing.
I could see them losing to Kennesaw. Only 4 days rest. Nah, I'm giving them a loss at La Tech, win at Kennesaw. I mean, at Jacksonville State's winnable.
After that, I have them going completely winless. Jacksonville State, UTEP, Liberty, New Mexico. New Mexico State will be a tough one or a good one because it's at home, so that'll be winnable. But still, probably lean loss and then an at FIU to finish.
The thing is, the experienced quarterback comes into play. The experienced quarterback is worth something.
Definitely helps.
Yeah.
So it'd be under for me too, but the experience.
I think they'll put up points.
Yeah, mine's under.
They'll give
so far, the only one I'm actually betting is UTEP.
Well, that's because the Miners are.
That's a real program. They don't farm from the XFL.
Top defense in the XFL. Just saying.
Houston Roughnecks. They put that in his bio. Number 1 defense in the XFL.
We forgot to do the over/under on the Roughnecks next year.
Yeah, well, Roughnecks is tomorrow. All right, the moment Andy's been waiting for.
Oh yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah. Andy's darlings right here.
Andy, and this is not a joke. Not trying to be funny. Andy deadass thinks Western Kentucky can beat Liberty and win conference.
Yeah,
USA.
I definitely think they are capable. They are obviously the second best team. That's obvious by odds. They're plus 400 to win this conference, which is the second best odds, and it's pretty significant. With the next one is they're bringing back. They won the famous Toastery Bowl. They were 8-5 last year. They're second in the preseason poll, but they've got a coach who's been there forever.
Bowl?
What happened?
What bowl did they win?
Famous Toastery Bowl.
Yeah, what bowl was that?
You heard me.
Oh, the famous Toastery. Okay.
But that was with obviously they had Reed at quarterback. That he's gone. But they did have Veldkamp. He played one game. He played in that Toastery Bowl.
You keep talking about this kid Veldkamp. You've been talking about him.
I think TJ
played
Finley's
one
gonna
game.
be
He
starting.
played what?
Is Veldkamp even going to play?
Finley's going to be playing from.
I told you this yesterday. They did bring Finley in as competition, but it's more
Veldkamp's
likely
not a bad
that Veldkamp will
QB,
start.
Based on what though?
Because he plays the style that this coach has had at quarterback every year.
The problem is they're not going to waste. They're not going to waste Finley. He's already a junior.
Product of Auburn. Auburn.
I'm aware. Caden Veldkamp had one game last year. He had 5 touchdown passes, 383 yards. He passed ball 52 times
why
that
they
game.
bring Finley
They
in?
trusted him that week. You have to have a good backup nowadays. A lot of teams brought in backups to be. I mean, just
so
to be
you're
that.
saying TJ Finley's career has hit a point where he transferred to Western Kentucky to be a backup quarterback.
No. They don't
transfer at Auburn.
They don't transfer with the intention of being a backup. It seems as if Veldkamp's going to. Obviously, they haven't announced their starter yet, but it seems as if Veldkamp, because of the style he plays, he'll be the starter. He was amazing in their bowl game last year. Plays like Reed. They brought back everybody else from that offense besides the quarterback, of an offense that was very good. So they're basically just replacing Reed. The defense wasn't very good last year, but they brought in some additions there. This is a team that's a lot of veterans on the offensive side. That's why I'm okay with them. I think they're going to score a lot of points. I'm on their over and wins. I'm not saying I'm guaranteeing they're winning this conference because they're probably not going to, but they will have a shot toward the end of the year.
They were favored to win their conference last year until Liberty went off.
Nobody expected Liberty to average 499 yards a game.
I think they're going to start Finley, but I think piggyback on you. I think Elijah Young's a pretty good running back, and they added that kid Hampton from Elon who had like 2,000 yards rushing last season. But I think Corley's going to be a big loss receiving. He was first team Conference USA, so the team's going to score a lot of points. So I just think his production they're gonna miss that. So
the whole thing rests on, are they going to get the production out of the quarterback position? Because if you're unfamiliar with Western Kentucky, the whole offense rides on the passing game. I mean, they throw the ball a lot. They're 6th in the country in pass frequency, meaning there's only 5 teams in college football that pass more frequently than Western Kentucky. And that's not new. That's been the thing there for multiple years. They had Bailey Zappi, who you might know from the Patriots, and then they had Austin Reed. So the question is, now normally programs like this, when they establish a passing offense, they're more likely to bring in quarterbacks because they want to play in offenses that showcase their arms. So if that rings true, then this kid Veldkamp, Andy's talking about, should be somebody that has a strong arm. But until we see it, 5 touchdowns in one game.
5 touchdowns in their bowl game. He had 52 pass attempts. Same
right,
coaching staff.
It was also Old Dominion.
It does not matter. That does not matter who they were playing. It was a bowl game, and they gave him 52 pass attempts. That's pretty good, and he was amazing with all those pass attempts. So
Kyle can get 3 touchdowns against Old Dominion. So
all right.
I mean, I'd be more conservative. I wouldn't go down the field, but
he also led their team in rushing in that game too. So he ran the ball, scrambled.
Can you go to returning starters, please? Because I have a question for Andy.
Their defense, they only have 5 starters back. So
exactly, and Andy didn't even address the defense. You noticed that he
casually
said all over the offense. He loves the offense.
I said that their defense wasn't going to be particularly strong, but their offense does. Their defense doesn't have to, because I think their offense is going to be just as good.
Well, their first game they're losing by 45.
Well, last year the Western Kentucky defense was 106th in PPA per play at home, 128th in success rate at home. This defense wasn't good, Andy, last year. You got a new
that defense is pretty good.
You bring the same defensive coordinator on Summers. I don't know Summers, but it's the same guy that was there last year. The only back 5-star. I don't know how you could have faith in the Western Kentucky defense. So let's pull up the schedule and try to poke holes in Andy's shit here.
Steele claims
they played Ohio State. They played Ohio State last year, Andy. They lost 63-10. What happened there?
Well, I mean,
oh yeah, what happened with that?
What did you expect them to win? I'm not saying that they're not starting 1-0. I'll tell you that much. They're gonna get their ass kicked week 1.
I don't know. Post Saban.
Yeah, Saban's out.
For those of you who can't see the screen and are only listening, they open up on the road.
31, by the way. 31 points is the spread.
That's how much Alabama's laying.
Yeah.
Milroe's going to go
Alabama
nuts.
on that one.
What's the total on that, Scoop?
64.5. Oh, no, sorry. 60.5. My bad.
Bro.
That over's probably hitting.
If Andy believes in that kid, over, right? Milro's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. Milro's going to do whatever he wants on Western Kentucky's defense. I'd like to look at their pace numbers. But we're not talking week 1 right now. So, week 1 in Alabama loss to Eastern Kentucky. No, I'm kidding. Win. At Middle Tennessee, that's a win. Loss.
It's a weird game, by the way. That's like
loss to Toledo, although Toledo
early
being a home
conference
game
USA
is
game.
good.
I will give you they might steal Toledo or Boston College.
Toledo, I think they could get. No, they're not going to beat
I don't think
TCU
Boston College.
Yeah, Boston College. I don't know, though. Boston College could choke. Castellanos in like a sophomore slump. I feel like everyone's like crowned Castellanos as like the dude because I mean he was awesome for a lot of last year, but there was a couple times in particular where
sometimes he looked like shit though.
Sometimes he looked like shit.
Yeah.
So at Boston College, let's say
at this point we have them at 3-2.
So wait, 3? Where are you getting the third win?
Oh, well, you gave me Toledo. You gave me Toledo, and they beat Middle Tennessee.
I'll give you Toledo as a possible. I'll give you guys a half win.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
No, he's at 2.5. UTEP's next.
Win at home.
UTEP might come in and establish the run game, but nah, they probably. If I'm getting 10.5, though, I'm taking the Miners. At Sam Houston State, win. Kennesaw, win.
New Mexico State, win.
Probably win.
Probably
Louisiana,
gonna beat La Tech. You've got that's 6 now.
At Liberty loss.
You've got 6. I've got them at 7. I think they lose. I think probably
at Liberty
lose to
loss.
Liberty.
Win Jacksonville State. That's 7.
That's 8 for me. I got 8. I have 8.
7. That's 7 in conference, not.
So hold on. It comes down to the Toledo game. If they beat Toledo, that's 8. If they lose to Toledo, that's 7.
Yeah, I've got them beating.
Give me an under.
So I have 8.
I have 8. You have 8. I have 7-1 in conference. So.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they're with 9 and they pull one of those upsets.
Andy, you miscounted.
The heck do you mean I miscounted?
You miscounted. I was at 8. You were at 9.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Even better.
You have them at 10-2.
Yeah, their losses are to Liberty and Alabama.
I have the same exact record
College.
as last year.
And Boston College. So I have them at 9-3.
8-4.
I have it right here. 9-3.
Hold on, I want to find a loss. I don't want to take the over for this.
you want to find a loss? Go create a loss, please. Create a loss.
I have the over.
I want to conjure a loss here.
But the problem is, if you're doing an under here, like, is Liberty's going to win this conference by like 7 games because no one else is going over 7.
Oh, there's like no. Where are they going to lose? Sonny Comby?
That would be the probably closest one. I may be going. No,
I want to put the under, but I don't necessarily see the path to it.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know that I hope it goes under. Because Andy's blind faith in his team.
I'm gonna bet it. I'm gonna bet it.
Give me the under.
That'll be my third one.
What else did you bet?
My third win total. I bet I bet Ole Miss.
They'll drop one of these. Okay, we're just blindly counting these wins. They'll drop one of these tough conference games, like at Sam Houston. They could choke. Keep in mind, this team at Austin Reed, they choked some games away. They lost to Jacksonville State. That won't happen again, though. They also got beat by New Mexico State at home. They'll choke one of these away.
State's not as good this year.
They lost to Troy,
they're significantly worse.
I'm not saying it's going to be New Mexico State. Maybe they choke at Sam Houston. Nah.
That would be the bet. If you want to say they're going to choke a game, Sam Houston
beats them. UTEP beats them.
Miners.
Even if you say UTEP beats them, I still got them at 8.
UTEP covered the spread last year against Western Kentucky.
You're damn right they did. Miners football. All right, everyone. We've been yapping a long time.
I love going through these teams.
Did you want to do win raw?
Oh yeah. Wait, should we just? Oh, I don't have.
I actually have an accurate because I circled back. Yeah. Like, oh, well, I had them lose here.
So who do you guys have? You do a new poll prop, Ever? I don't even know if I think the people watching are on TV, so they might not be able to vote. But new poll. So we'll go who wins the conference. Put Liberty, Western Kentucky, UTEP. Who would be the
Jacksonville
next?
State.
Jacksonville State is the third best
Conference,
offense.
right.
If I looked at it correctly.
So Liberty, Western
Liberty,
Kentucky.
WKU, Jacksonville State, and Sam Houston State are the top 4.
Sam Houston State doesn't belong. Put them in there, but they don't belong.
Plus 1,700
UTEP
for Sam
belongs
Houston
in
State.
there. UTEP belongs in there.
I don't know.
No, it's not UTEP, but Western Kentucky. I think it should be UTEP, but let's put we can't make it biased. Sam Houston State and Jacksonville State.
Mhm.
So, all right, who do you guys have winning the conference? Me, it's Liberty, 12-0.
Yeah, I have Liberty.
Yeah, I'll go Liberty too. But I don't.
Picks for Liberty. Let's see if what the votes do.
This
I
should
would-
be
This
of
should
any
be a pretty.
conference. This should be the most significant.
Yeah,
This will be the conference that takes.
The
it.
only team in college football, Indy said, that's minus odds
Mhm.
to win their conference is Liberty at minus 200. So this is the biggest favorite to win their conference. We'll give it 5 seconds. We're not going to just sit here and wait for people to vote. But yeah, every single person that has voted for Liberty.
The next closest is Boise State, who is plus 100 when I looked. So that's close to being they're not, but they're close.
All right, so how about this?
Those are the 2 best group of 5 teams.
Let's close it out. Who finishes in second in the conference? Is it West? And I want UTEP added to this poll. I put the same 3 teams except
I want
UTEP
UTEP
instead of Liberty. What? UTEP would be the next name up. What are you going to put? La Tech? Want to put
FIU,
Cumbie?
maybe FIU.
FIU's at 4.5 too.
Yeah, they're all 4.5, so it doesn't really.
No, La Tech
There
is
was
5.
So many teams listed at 4.5, 5 in this conference.
So it's the same 3 with UTEP added.
And tomorrow we start.
Probably was making fun. He's like, this is a really dope poll.
Such an asshole.
Liberty. I'm voting UTEP. So if you guys are wondering who clicked the 1 vote on UTEP, it's me.
I am WKU.
2 votes for UTEP.
Go Miners.
So who's the favorite to be second? It's probably Jacksonville State.
It's
Western
WK.
Kentucky.
No,
WKU.
Jacksonville State was at 8 though. We just did one. Oh, but it's because they play.
It's based on win-loss and who you play in
Yeah.
non-conference.
Duh. Should have thought of that.
I will say WKU didn't need to schedule. I mean, they scheduled a pretty tough schedule with adding Toledo and Alabama, so and Boston College too, going on the road there.
People are out there voting UTEP. We're a UTEP program. We always have been, and we always will be. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. We're doing. You know what? Real quick, I'll read you the schedule for tomorrow, so you guys know what games you're coming in on.
Oh, we got
Liberty's minus
action.
200 now. Jesus.
So we are now done with Conference USA. Tomorrow we are doing the MAC, and we're talking about the New York Football Jets first.
Oh boy,
And then we're doing the first 5 MAC teams.
action. Let's go.
Scoop won't be here, right?
I will not be back till the 9th.
So tomorrow it's I think it's just me and Andy doing college football, but we'll have Prop Beaver and Just a Bet Outside to do NFL.